guys, PIEGUYRULZ here, and welcome to the special 30th episode of the recast. I am joined, as always, by MonstersReview.
What's up?
That's all you got?
Yes.
I worked hard on the spider intro, and you just got what's up. All right, okay, all right.
What's up? It's pizza time.
Not even a what's up danger? All right, fine. Joining us on the special 30th anniversary is the edgiest of all of the spider creatures. It is Spidey Streak.
Hey, what's up, my dudes?
And that's all you have. All right, fine.
Look, hey, at least it was longer than Monsters.
And rounding out the quad? I guess that's a group of 4 people. Sure. Is Spidey the Artist?
Hey, my rad arachnids, I'm whipping into the scene.
Yes! Thank you.
Think of anything.
He had more time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did.
Like 12 seconds. Y'all knew this recast was coming. So yeah, welcome to the 30th recast. Woo!
We're all not sick.
Yay!
And the 4 of us for the first time since episode 10.
That's right. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This calls for a celebration.
Wow, you sound really enthused, Shadow. Oh goodness. All right. So yeah, we've got a packed show tonight. Okay. We have our usual what we watched in the past week. We also have a mystery middle segment, which I mean, I'm sure the comments will say it. I'm sure you can look in the description if you want to know it right now. I don't want to say it mostly because I'm enjoying keeping it from Kuro and Shadow. They have no idea what could happen. It could be anything.
All of a sudden, he starts reading out my social security number.
So we've got that, and that is bound to be a blast, I promise. And afterwards, we of course have the feature presentation of a discussion on 2, in my opinion, really fantastic Spider-Man movies. Very highly acclaimed, very a lot of stuff to talk about with these movies, and we've been talking about Into the Spider-Verse since episode 19. No,
Yes.
episode 19.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Shadow, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. Had an eventful week, I guess. I've actually been watching a lot of movies lately.
Ooh.
So that'll be interesting when we get to the what we've watched, because that's what I've been doing with a lot of my time. Mostly. Just been relaxing, college, usual stuff.
Mm-hmm. Kuro, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. Staying busy, but staying positive.
I like that.
Are you staying busy and fizzy?
Oh, I'm always keeping it busy. By the time this airs on what would it be, March 3rd, it'll be 20 days until my wedding, so planning that.
Wow, I didn't even realize it was that close. Thank you for being here
Yeah,
tonight.
it kind of just snuck up on me like that.
There's going to be a Mrs. Kuro the Artist.
Oh, yes.
Kuro Jr. Because people love it when you talk about them having kids.
I'll soon be raising my own army
Oh.
of young artists.
Is that what you'd call it? Kuro the Artist rebooted?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The Kuro the Artist reboot will be my children.
This is notably the first time Kuro's been on since I thoroughly beat him to death in a debate. So
yeah,
I'm glad we're still friends.
I had to avoid the internet because of all the ashamed-ness I felt.
No, there was the comments were pretty split on it. I was actually pretty happy to see that there were some people that agreed with Jay's ruling and some people that thought you should have won. So I was happy with the result.
And, of course you were.
All right, well, yes, I won. So all right, and green guy that's always here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. My Drake and Josh video is out. Just kidding, I lied. It's gonna be out on March 8th. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty well. I started going to the gym this week.
Do you even lift, bro?
No, I just do the treadmill.
Pieguy lifts.
Pieguy lifts.
Hey guys, Pieguy lifts here.
I know, weird flex, but okay. No, but it's been good, man. It's good to actually get active, and also gym memberships are a scam financially, so it's good because it's a lot of money, and they have all these weird hidden fees. But if you use it every day or every other day, it really doesn't matter what they charge because you're getting your money's worth out of it. So it's like an incentive,
Yeah.
Yep. Fair point.
Puts the cent in incentive. But yeah, no, that's basically in that and work, and I've got exciting stuff happening tomorrow that I'll probably talk about on the next week's recast.
Ooh.
All right. So of note, by the way, what should be appearing on the screen is some really fantastic art by someone over on the Ink Tank. Kuro, do you want to plug his work?
Yeah. So he works with me a lot on my projects, both with my videos and comics. His name is O.R.Ash. He's incredibly talented.
He was also on the recast. So
yeah, he did that. I forgot what episode it was. But
Real
it was
and
the
Scary.
Halloween episode. Yeah. Comparing the Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom. But yeah, his stuff is good. He's got this thing called Fusion Friday, where he takes fan suggestions and fuses things together, and it's not just like Ben 10 stuff. Like he's fused together like cartoon characters, celebrities. Like he did one fusion recently that looked pretty cool. It was like Firestorm. So yeah, just go check out his art. He's really good.
Nice. And yeah, thank you very much for doing that last minute for us. So yeah. Okay. What else? What have we got? We got corrections, monsters?
Yes. Well, it's not even a correction. It's just kind of like a cool response to last week.
Okay.
And that's that. At the end of the episode, you post the trivia question or prompt. The world may never know why the egg sings at midnight, and that was a fake Ferb quote from Phineas and Ferb that never actually happened. But we encouraged people in the comments to leave what their own interpretations of what that means. And we did get some pretty creative responses. So we got Crow Rider saying, the egg sings at night to spread its eggness to the citizens of the world, forever turning them into eggheads and ruling the world as Egg Lord.
Okay.
I feel like that's referencing something.
It sounds like, is that like an Ultra Lord thing?
Perhaps. And then Derek Foxwit says, the egg sings at midnight in order to tell whether or not it'll hatch to become an early bird. If it sings well, it's an early bird. Sing poorly, it's not.
I like that. That's a good one. That one wins nothing, but it wins my approval.
And then we also got Bagelbite the Evil Minion. Fantastic name. And they say the egg sings at midnight because the bird that recently hatched from it is nocturnal.
Oh,
that's a scientific response.
Good responses, guys. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe I'll pose a prompt at the end of every episode from now on.
Yeah.
Probably not. Okay. We have another community cast coming up, monsters.
Yes, we do.
This is our live episode of the recast that we're doing roughly once a month.
Yes.
And when is that going to be coming out?
Wednesday, March 20th.
2019.
Yes.
Do you guys know what shows we're doing or movies? You guys should know this because it's the one we were going to do for this episode before Spider-Verse came out.
Oh.
Okay, I know. Okay.
Shadow, why don't you tell the audience what we're going to be comparing for the live community cast?
Well,
you don't remember.
It's a little... Well, now I'm thinking, now I'm like double, now I'm...
Oh my God. All right,
I
fine.
can't even talk. I'm going back and doubting myself. Is it the show that I'm...
No, it's not that one.
No, it's not that one.
Why would we do that without you? Oh
it's
my God.
the movies.
Kuro, would you like to tell the audience what movies we're going to be covering for the live community cast?
It's the Lego Batman versus Teen Titans Go to the Movies, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm on my game right now.
And I'm totally off it.
All right.
Just got to tune in on your Spidey sense, man.
And we're comparing them because Pieguy has a strange obsession with Will Arnett as Batman.
Listen, all right. He's really cool. Okay, I don't, but yeah, no, I'm excited for that. They're both DC superhero satire animated films that feature Will Arnett and Batman. So should be a fun comparison. I know a lot of people have seen one or both of these movies, and Monsters and I, there's like a 98% chance we'll actually talk about Teen Titans Go to the Movies this time, and we won't troll.
And not the other Teen Titans movie.
Yeah, the Judas Contract. Okay, well, since Shadow Streak said he watched a lot of movies this week, why don't you lead us off on the What We Watched segment?
All right, so recently I've watched quite a handful of movies. In fact, right before recording this, I just got back from watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show, so that was pretty fun.
Oh.
And then yesterday I watched the 2016 Oscar winner Moonlight, which was an interesting film. Not what I expected, but I thought it was really good. And then I also watched The Dark Knight, so in tune with the superhero theme of this episode. Yeah, I watched The Dark Knight. I think it was like my third or fourth time watching it, and every single time it still holds up. Like, I know a lot of people have said Dark Knight Rises doesn't hold up as much as like it did back when it came out. But
didn't hold up then either, but all right. People
Well-
were all high on Dark Knighting, so
yeah, but I still think Dark Knight, solid movie, still to this day, and it's been like 10 years now. No, still great film, absolutely.
a movie that's referenced in Lego Batman movie.
Foreshadowing.
What about the time with the two boats? Okay. Anything else?
I guess in terms of shows, my girlfriend got me into My Hero like a month ago, and I'm like 2 or 3 episodes away from being completely caught up. So I've been like marathoning that show with her, and I'm really into it.
What's it about?
So basically, long story short, it's based in this world where the majority of people are born with these things called quirks, and they're basically like superpowers, and each person has their own individual power, and it takes place in a school setting where there's a bunch of students learning to become heroes, and lots of interesting like plot arcs and character development and things like that. It's a really good anime, and this is coming from someone who doesn't really watch that much anime. So like for it to really grab me, it's pretty good. So
How would you compare it to PPGZ?
night and day, dude. Night and day. Like they are polar opposites.
That's a little foreshadowing for you. All right.
Foreshadowing.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Kuro, have you seen anything interesting the past week?
Yeah, so I've been rewatching BoJack Horseman with Vaughn, and I'm actually kind of really pumped to rewatch the Lego Batman now because it's BoJack Horseman, Will Arnett, Lego Batman. So yeah, I like that a lot. And I've also been watching The Umbrella Academy. I'm only like 2.5 episodes in, and it's really good. People say it's very slow at the start, and I definitely see it because each episode is a full 60 minutes long because it's Netflix, so they can do that. And it feels like it. Like it doesn't really. I mean, it's entertaining, but like it's just like I feel like after the 2.5 episodes I've seen so far, that's like 2.5 hours, and nothing's really happened yet. So.
I
like the characters. So it's this family of like adopted people where they were all born. Like there was randomly this event, it hasn't been explained in the show yet, where a whole bunch of women gave birth who were not previously pregnant, and each child who was born in that event has a superpower, and this millionaire wanted to adopt as many of them as he could, and he ended up getting 7 of them, and he raised them to be like childhood superheroes.
So it's like a weird X-Men thing.
Kind. Yeah, actually it's pretty much like that. And one of the daughters doesn't have any powers. So there's the whole dynamic, like everyone's special but me. And all of that. But they don't dwell too much on that. Like each family member gets a fair amount of screen time, so it's not like they hone in on that, but it's just kind of like a trope. You see that. I don't know, it doesn't really interest me. So whenever they're on her, it kind of weighs everything down.
I bet you she'll be revealed to have a pretty cool power towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
That's always how that goes.
She's gonna be like the strongest of them all, and she's gonna like save. So yeah, you find this out in the first episode too. So one of the brothers went to the future, and he sees the world's gonna end in 8 days, and he doesn't know how to stop it.
Ooh.
So she's probably gonna like reveal some power to stop it. Calling it now.
Or she causes it. Oh.
Ooh. Twist. And then season 1 cliffhanger. But yeah, I still got like another 7.5 episodes to get through, so there's a lot that could probably happen.
Nice. I like that you both kept on brand for superheroes.
Oh yeah. It's really unavoidable now if you think about it, like everything's superhero.
Yeah.
Really is. It like dominates our culture.
I mean, I like that because like what are superheroes but normal problems that are played up in a larger than life way, and that's cool.
No, yeah, I like it too, but it's like you start to like take a step back and like see how much everything is really superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like to refer to them as the westerns of today. Like they're just so abundant and prevalent. And the great thing about superhero stuff in general is like they're so flexible. They could literally be about anything.
Yeah.
You know, they can cover a wide array of issues. It's full of so many possibilities, and it's also got a lot of explosions, so that's cool too.
Oh yeah.
All right, Monstro.
Well, I'm keeping it on brand with superheroes too. First thing I'm going to talk about is a superhero you might know as Nathan Fielder.
Who?
Whoa!
Nathan Fielder.
Oh, right, him. Yeah.
I watched another episode of Nathan For You. I don't remember the name of the episode precisely. It was something called like Nathan For You: A Celebration, and it's basically in the last season of the show they did a kind of our Where Are They Now special, where they revisit businesses from the first few seasons and see if they kept Nathan's strategies and see how they're doing in business now. Like there was a realtor who Nathan had start using like paranormal techniques to kind of sell houses better because people are probably more compelled to buy a house that has like a paranormal aura, even though it's just kind of like a load of crap. But she actually had like her own like reality series from it, and she kept on with it, and she actually had a lot of business from it. And then there was also another episode from earlier on where he consults a liquor store and convinces the owner to let minors buy alcohol, but it's kind of like an IOU thing where the minors can pay for the alcohol, but the store has to keep it, and the minors can't come back and actually possess and get the alcohol until they turn 21. So they brought back one of the minors who had purchased alcohol, and by the time of that Where Are They Now special, he had turned 21, so they handed it over, and it was pretty funny. So I watched that, and then I also watched a couple episodes of Regular Show.
Oh.
I saw this Twitter page out of context Regular Show, and it just made me feel inclined to watch more of the show. People kind of sleep on it and forget it exists, but I don't know. I'm a really big fan of Regular Show. So I watched a season 1 episode called Grilled Cheese Deluxe. It's kind of a classic. It's basically where Rigby and Mordecai pretend to be astronauts to cut in line to get this like really popular grilled cheese sandwich. And there just so happens to be astronauts that are also at that place, and they get kind of thrown into this big scenario because they keep lying about being astronauts, and sooner or later becomes a life or death situation, and it gets carried away. But yeah, it's a really fun episode. And then just because I was feeling, I don't know, a little, I guess, optimistic, I chose to watch an episode that I didn't remember or I don't think I had watched back in the day, and it was called Ace Balthazar Lives. It's from season 4, so it's kind of right in the middle of the show. And basically, the premise of the episode is there's this band called Adrenaline, and they're from the 80s, and Rigby and Mordecai adore them, but like their lead singer died in a car crash. But people have these kind of Elvis conspiracies about the lead singer because his body was never found, so people think that he's, still alive and hiding around in public today. And there's this hobo at the park who has a little bit of a physical resemblance. So Rigby and Mordecai become convinced that he's Ace Balthazar. So they dress him up like the lead singer and reunite him with the band, and everyone's all convinced. And the hobo knows that he's not Ace Balthazar, but he plays the part. And they have this big reunion concert, and then the ghost of the real Ace Balthazar comes out. And he gets angry. He's like, "You're making a mockery." And his whole shtick on stage was just like breaking things, like breaking instruments and crashing things.
Oh, so he's Geiger?
I thought it was a Pete Townsend reference, but I don't know. Who's Geiger?
The guy that smashes watermelons.
Oh. But yeah, so the spirit comes out, and he kind of becomes amazed at how much he breaks things, and he's like, "All right, I forgive you. You can go perform with the band," and it's kind of like a happily ever after ending. It's pretty forgettable, and nothing really makes it special. So I can see why I probably either didn't remember it or didn't watch it back in the day. But yeah, Regular Show. What'd you watch?
More Batman. So I've got 3 episodes that I kind of want to briefly talk about here. Finally on to season 2, which like season 1 is something like 65 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I am on to season 2. I think they split up the volumes weirdly, but I saw this episode called His Silicon Soul, which is a previous episode. There was this like AI named Hardak that was creating replicants of humans to like replace them and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, in this one, it turns out that before he got destroyed or deactivated, he made a replica of Bruce Wayne as Batman. so Batman. And basically, like, it plays out like this robot thinks that he's Batman, that's brain has been transported into a robot. Like, he acts like Batman would, and it's really kind of sad and tragic because he gets, like, fatally damaged, and there's all this stuff that goes on, but I don't know, it's really kind of interesting to see that he's also technically a bad guy. Like, he gets his mind taken over by Hardak towards the end, but he still has, like, Batman's code of conduct, like, he can't kill. So I don't know, it was just it's one of those episodes in an already pretty standout show that, I don't know, plays with Batman himself, and that's always really fun. The next episode right after it is definitely the worst episode of this show. Like, I haven't seen an episode I didn't like yet. I saw this one. It's an episode where there's a guy who believes that he has become Zeus, and he's like the executive of some company that's doing like illegal, like, arms dealing or some sort of illegal trading, and he like walks around like he's Zeus, and he's got the Zeus costume, and he's got kind of vague lightning powers, and all of his subordinates and like girlfriend just kind of put up with it, and Batman has to stop him from Zeusing. I don't know. You guys ever see the Courage the Cowardly Dog episode where there's like a golden goose Zeus guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Yeah, that one's like better than this. I mean, I love Courage, but like that one's probably more serious than this. This is I don't know. It's really like weird tonally for Batman. I don't know if this is adapted from a comic specifically. I don't know if this like Zeus villain. He's not in any of the Arkham games, I can tell you that much. He didn't show up in Lego Batman, so he's no one. And then there's also the next episode is called Read My Lips, and that one features the ventriloquist and the ventriloquist dummy named Scarface. But it's actually the ventriloquist has a split personality disorder, and his other personality comes out through the puppet. And there's this kind of like interplay of like, is the puppet really alive? Is the guy insane? Is like, what's going on? And Scarface is actually like a pretty intelligent villain, and that he's able to actually like outsmart Batman on a few things, and it's just a really solid episode. So it's funny to go from like a goofy villain idea in a guy who's kind of crazy and thinks he's Zeus to a guy with split personality disorder controlling a puppet, but like that version worked. So there you go.
Cool.
Yep. All right, are you guys ready for the mystery to be unveiled?
Let's do it.
I guess so. Let's do it.
All right, so the four of us are gonna vote on the Kids' Choice Awards.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
When's that happening?
Let's do it.
And the catch is we're not moving on until we all agree on a vote, or we figure out some sort of like majority rule thing.
All right, let's do this. This actually sounds awesome.
This was like the last thing I would have expected, so bravo.
I
Because
honestly forgot the Kids' Choice Awards was even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Hey, yo, I got the keys to more success. And you know what that means? We got the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, another one.
Okay.
That was so good.
Oh, please put that in.
All right, so yeah, there we go. If I remember from the last time I did this, or the last time I tried to do this, they for some reason cut the voting like really short. Like there was only like 5 categories. Let's hope there's not like 86 categories or something. Oh, there's 31. Lovely. All right, so here's the other thing with the Kids' Choice Awards voting. If you've seen my channel and when I've done this in the past, I don't know who celebrities are. So hopefully between the 4 of us, we can recognize some of these people. How good are you guys at like celebrities?
I'm great.
Okay.
I only know two of
I'm
those
really
people.
good with voice actors. But,
Oh well,
like,
fortunately, the Kids' Choice Awards really doesn't care about them.
yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, on this list, I only know Taylor Swift and David Guetta.
And those are the two I know.
Anybody else?
Okay, favorite global music star.
Let's do.
So
we
yeah,
should read off the choices too.
yes, for the audio people. All right, firstly, from Africa, we have Danny DeVito. I also always make fun of the people's names, which is probably like not as woke these days. But from Australia / New Zealand, we have Troy
Troy Sivan.
Savant. Okay, from North America, we have Taylor Swift.
Yay.
Well, how did they pick
no.
her for global music star? I mean,
She's
I guess
hip with the kids, yo.
I guess she's global. Isn't the whole point of doing global in the American Kids' Choice Awards to honor like people outside of America? Why even have Anyway, from the United Kingdom, we have Harvey.
Harvey.
HRVY? Harvey? Okay.
I don't know.
From Asia, we have Blackpink. I don't know. From Europe, we have David Guetta.
Getta.
And from Latin America, we have J Balvin. Woo! We're gonna. Are we gonna vote? Who did you guys know that wasn't Taylor Swift? Because I don't want to vote.
David Guetta is the only other one I know.
He's a DJ. He probably does a lot of songs you didn't realize was him.
The only one I don't know is Davido, if that's how you say his name.
Really? You know all these?
Yeah, Blackpink is an Asian K-pop group.
Oh.
J Balvin does like reggaeton and that sort of stuff. I really don't like Taylor Swift. I'm gonna go with Troye Sivan. He used to be a YouTuber. He makes some really cool music.
Kuro and Shadow, you both vote for David Guetta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with you guys and pick David Guetta. Because you said he comes from YouTube, that kind of makes me think that he's not very good, which is probably
No, he's not a YouTuber anymore. He's like a full-time musician.
Anymore,
he's
but he
crazy.
Started out on YouTube, so we're voting for Guetta.
You know who else started out on YouTube? Justin Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
You know who else started out on YouTube? Shadow Streak.
Oh, and look where I am now.
Mm-hmm. On the recast, so you
on
made it.
On the recast. Living large.
All right, next up we have a favorite funny TV show. I have to put funny in there because you wouldn't know that that's part of the category. Oh, God.
Is it required that we have to pick one?
We can't move on unless we do.
Man.
We have Bunked, which is that Disney Channel?
Yeah, it's like a sequel spin-off type thing for Jesse.
Of course. We have Henry Danger.
Half of these are spin-offs.
Yeah, we have Raven's Home. That's a reboot. We have Fuller House. We have Modern Family. Is that still happening? Is that still a thing?
I was going to say,
about to end.
Okay, I thought it ended already, but...
It wouldn't be the first time Kids' Choice Awards puts in a nominee that's been, like, over for 10 years. Looking at you, Harry Potter series. All right, Modern Family, and lastly, The Big Bang Theory.
I'll say Modern Family.
Yeah, I would have to say Modern Family. I don't even like that show, but...
I haven't seen any of these except Big Bang Theory, so, like, I'll just go with you guys, because...
I'm the same. Well, I actually saw an episode of Fuller House, just out of curiosity, and I wish I didn't.
Yeah.
But honestly, out of all of these, I personally would have chosen The Big Bang Theory, just because I've actually seen it a decent amount of times. But... let's just do Modern Family.
Comment
I mean,
section, please be nice.
I just haven't seen it, so...
Nah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, if I'm going off the one I'm familiar with, I'd go with Big Bang Theory, but Modern Family seems like it's probably the better show.
Well, here's what's unfair here. Modern Family is the only one of these that's a one-camera sitcom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I think it is.
True.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Right, and because it has at least slightly more ambition than any of the rest of this crap, that's my vote too, so we're going with it. All right, favorite TV drama. Oh, this should be interesting.
Oh, man, this is going to be fair for me.
All right, we have A Series of Unfortunate Events, which I've talked about on the recast. Riverdale, which is, that's the Archie show?
Yep.
Okay. Stranger Things. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is Sabrina the Teenage Witch Netflix reboot. The Flash, and The Walking Dead. That ain't a kid's show.
None of
them.
these
Y'all are gonna overrule my Flash vote for Stranger Things.
I'm going with Stranger Things.
All right, yeah, I would say Stranger Things too.
All right, I'll be the odd one out and say Walking Dead just because it'd be ironic for it to win a Kids' Choice Award.
I mean, it's not the most inappropriate thing,
Things.
But like, oh god. I always question how they pick this stuff. Like, how The Walking Dead over like any other adult drama show. Like, why is that one the? I don't get it. But Stranger Things.
They probably just Googled TV drama and picked the first 6 results. Let's be honest.
All right, here we go. Favorite reality show: America's Got Talent, American Got Idol, American Got Ninja Warriors, Dancing with the Stars, Juniors.
Juniors?
I assume that's kids.
Yeah.
Doubly Dare, and The Voice.
American Ninja Warrior.
To be clear, it's also the Double Dare reboot.
Yeah.
According to the icon.
Because American Ninja Warrior requires actual skill.
Oh. Are you implying Double Dare doesn't require skill?
You're right.
I've never really actually seen it. I've just kind of seen I don't know, clips of it maybe.
Yeah.
But I would go with American Ninja Warrior because at least you're right in that it's not a singing show. It's not singing show number 8,000,006, and Double Dare, I don't know, it's probably fine, but it's a reboot.
I'm fine with American Ninja Warrior too because it's like the most unique out of all of those. I mean, this is coming from someone who, if you asked him 5 years ago, he would have said America's Got Talent because I actually used to be into that show back like around like from season 4 to season 7 I was into it, but like after that I fell out.
Every year that I voted on the Kids Choice Awards was another year that I said the same rant about how I hated how America's Got Talent always still ended up being a singing competition. No matter how many
and that was my biggest issue with it too.
No matter how many interesting the other acts were, like magicians and performance artists. Nope, always a singer. Always a singer at the end. Like there was always like 2 singers in the final, like 5 people, and a singer almost always
I wonder
won.
what they would do if they made like a rule where you can't be a musical act, and see how that show would get.
It would be better, but I don't know. Maybe the ratings wouldn't do good. I don't know why people are.
Like, if you're a singer, go on American Idol. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That was my logic.
I used to think they were like the same company just because of the format they have.
Aren't they both produced by Simon Cowell? Yeah. Because Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell is involved with both. Yeah.
At any rate, we're going with American Ninja Warrior?
Yeah,
Kuro?
do the Ninja Warrior.
Okay. All right. What?
How do you want
This is
to help?
different. All right, guys. The category is how do you want to help?
This is like
this
a
the tie
question
into
of
the Halo
morality
Awards?
right now.
I assume this is whichever one of these wins Nickelodeon will probably donate money to, presumably.
Because this is like, oh, if we vote for the environment, they're gonna be like, what? You don't care about bullying?
All right, well let's
And
read.
like,
Let's,
or any, there's no winning
let's
option.
read
here.
it off here. How do you want to help? Would you like to help people in need with food homes, and more? Would you? Oh, well, this is rigged because help schools, which will help supplies STEM and more. Would you like to help the environment to get clean water, recycling, and more? Help animals, rescue wildlife, and more. Help prevent bullying, positivity, respect, and more. To me, all of those and mores say that they already have planned out what they want to spend this money on, and like they're gonna donate like $10. And I'm just assuming this. There's no disclaimer up on the screen right now that explains what this is. I mean, I'm sure we could Google it, but we're not going to. So I assume they're gonna donate. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a poll. Like, hey kids, what do you care about? Like, it could be.
I'll help the environment.
I will help animals.
Look,
I'm gonna be honest. I'd pick any of those except help prevent bullying because like money doesn't really, or an award or anything like that. Like that's not how you stop bullying.
Because Cartoon Network already campaigns against that.
Teen Titans taught me how to not bully each other about their tiny hands.
As someone who experienced bullying, I can tell you that the stuff that these networks try to do to prevent bullying doesn't work.
Stop bullying. Speak up. Let's rap on a school bus about it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm trying to think like which one of these programs would actually.
I honestly think the environment's the only one that would actually do something. Because everything else is kind of subjective.
What does help schools? Supply STEM and more. It doesn't like give
That's not
underprivileged.
what they're gonna do it for. They're gonna put it towards the sports system.
Oh God, you're probably
Yeah.
right. All right, fine. I'll go for environment too. I'm sorry, animals. I love animals.
It's okay.
See, I would vote for that, but I honestly don't believe it would do anything.
Yeah, I mean, oh, come on, but never mind. I was gonna say something that might veer into like political territory, so let's just not.
See,
And let's vote.
This is a bad category.
Let's vote help the environment and be that. You know, technically the environment is everything, so I think we went with just the most pragmatic. All right, favorite TV host. You got Ellen DeGeneres, who's host. Ellen DeGenerate.
Dory.
Ellen. You got Dory. You got Ellen. Does anyone say her last name? No one. You got Ellen. All right.
She's just Ellen, yeah.
You know which Ellen I'm talking about. Who hosts Game of Games? I don't know what that is. You got Kevin Hart, who's hosting TKO, Total Knockout. I don't know what that is. You got Lisa Koshy and Mark. Oh, I know who Mark Summers is. Double Dare.
Liza Koshy.
Okay, fine. You got Nick Cannon. Oh, Nick Cannon's still doing stuff. Good for him. And JoJo's
Siwa.
hosting Lip Sync Battle Shorties.
Is it possible to cast a negative vote?
Yeah.
You got
Like, can the people who don't win this lose their jobs?
you have Orion Seacrest type doing American Idol. Oh God, he's still doing that, man. You got Tyra Banks doing America's Got Talent, dude. I'm gonna vote for Mark Summers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll vote Mark Summers.
I feel like I can't vote because I don't watch any of these. So
I don't.
you guys.
I don't watch like
Not-
any of this stuff
yeah, we
either.
don't-
You have
not- neither
to
do
have
we.
an opinion though, regardless.
Just not JoJo Siwa.
Both isn't an answer, Shadow.
I didn't say both. I said no.
Do I need to add another rule to the recast?
Oh my gosh.
You must have an opinion at all
All
times.
right. All right. Peer pressure. Mark Summers.
See, if you had voted to help bullying, this wouldn't happen.
Favorite Why are these categories? This is not what kids care about.
Do you know what? Well, okay, so this is favorite TV judges. Do you know why these are categories? Because these are categories where these are specific ego-driven personalities that can have their ego stroked by another award. If there was like favorite cartoon, you know, like, oh, who's gonna get that? Some like, you know, underpaid cartoonist that isn't in the spotlight and would really appreciate it. Like, forget that. You gotta stroke the ego of like,
Or a celebrity that just hones in their performance.
yeah, I think you mean phones in.
Phones in, yeah.
There were. All right. Well, anyway, favorite TV judges, and this is going to be a mouthful. In the first group for America's Got Talent, we have Simon Cowell, Mel B, Heidi Klum, Howie Mandel. Second group in American Idol, we got Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, Lionel Richie. Third group, Dancing with the Stars, we got Len Good. And you'll notice, by the way, it's all the same crap, like over and over again, same reality shows. Len Goodman, Bruno Ravioli, Carrie Ann, Carrie Ann Inaba. You got the 4 Battle of Stardom. What is that? With
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Sean Diddy Combs,
Not
DJ
really.
Khalid. Oh, what? The host of the award show is going to be up
Conflict
for
of interest.
Whoa! And Meghan Trainor. Ugh. And for the voice, you got Kelly Clarkson, Jennifer Hudson, Adam Levine, Blake Shelton. And for World of Dance, you have Jennifer Lopez, Derek Ho, and
Huff.
Neo. Oh.
You're so great
I'm
with these
saying
names.
the first one just because I like Howie Mandel.
Yeah, same.
Out of like all of these people, he's like the only
You
one.
know
I'm like,
what?
yeah, I enjoy him.
I'm going with Dancing with the Stars because I don't know any of them. I don't think they're actually celebrities, so I don't want to. I don't want to comb their ego.
Actually, as far as I'm aware, those 3 have been hosting that show ever since it started.
Where's Mario Lopez?
The
That's
only
an
reason I
old
know
Puerto
that is
Rican.
because my mom used to watch that show all the time, and his name is Tanioli.
Oh,
So that's how you know
Tortellini.
I know.
All right, well,
And
I'm
Carrie Ann and Abba.
I'm on Kuro's boat with going for Howie Mandel. All right, sorry, monsters.
Howie.
Oh, here we go.
Favorite cartoon.
Oh,
It has to be Teen Titans Go. It's
No,
everybody's
no.
favorite. Remember?
Come on, that's not even like the most offensive thing on here anymore.
Let's read off the
All right,
nominees.
Yes. Favorite cartoon. By the way, it's spelled favorite with a U because apparently this is the UK Kids' Choice Awards, which is a thing, and it's its own thing. I don't know why there's a U here. I don't know. They can't be bothered. Anyway, we have Alvin and the Chipmunks. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The one that's in here always every year that's square and yellow. Teen Titans Go. The Boss Baby back in business. And The Loud House.
Rise.
Rise.
That's my vote.
I haven't seen it, but yeah, I'll go with Rise.
Oh yeah, I'll go with
Rise.
Rise deserves it.
Sure. You guys don't? You sure you don't want to go for Boss Baby?
Oh god.
This is the image they used here makes it look like the Boss Baby and this lady just like pooped themselves. And knowing the quality of humor on that show, that's
Their
like
expression reads like they had no idea that they were going to be on a TV show.
I think someone tweeted saying like they spent an entire episode of that show with the Boss Baby trying to learn how to poop.
that was I saw a Nintendo video that talked about that.
Yeah.
And that's true. He spends an episode constipated. Anyway, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right, favorite male TV star. We have Caleb McLaughlin. Who's Lucas Sinclair on Stranger Things? I know who that is. We have Grant Gustin, who is Barry Allen / The Flash in The Flash. We have Jace Norman, who's Henry Hart / Kid Danger in Henry Danger. We have Jim Parson. Oh God, Jace, what are you doing with that hair, buddy? I know you can't see this if you're listening to the audio version, but like he's just got like a big swoop going on.
It's a raccoon.
It ain't. Yeah, it ain't. It's a hair don't. We got Jim Parsons, Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. We got Karen Brar from
Karan Brar.
from Bunked. How do you know how to pronounce everyone's name?
I don't know.
All right, and we have Neil Patrick Harris, who's Count All Off, a series of unfortunate events. I'm gonna go with Neil Patrick Harris, definitely for Count All Off.
Lucas.
I really want to give it to Grant Gustin.
I know you do, bud. Who did you say, Monsters?
You're like, I know,
Caleb
but it's not
McLaughlin.
gonna happen.
Okay, and Shadow.
I don't want to be the tiebreaker,
Nope,
man.
you are.
Then I vote for Jim Parsons.
Oh my God! All right, well,
no,
this
because
is.
Grant's like legitimately a good actor.
So is Neil Patrick
Here's-
Harris.
yeah, Here's
but
the thing.
I know, but he's mostly like humor.
What?
Like I haven't really even his serious stuff. He always
Excuse
like.
me. The Flash is humor, my friend.
Let's just all agree and just vote Jace Norman.
No.
No, okay, fine. I will cast. I'd flip a coin, but there's 3 choices.
Recast your vote, Shadow.
I recast my vote, and I'll go with Neil Patrick Harris because he's the one I know the
Wow.
most. He's the one I know the most. I haven't seen Stranger Things or The Flash. So,
And
But you've
At least
seen
watch the
America's
first
Got
season.
Talent.
yep, I have
Okay.
from like 7 years ago.
All right, we got favorite female TV star, Candace Cameron Bure,
Burr.
who's DJ Tanner / Fuller on Fuller House. We have Kaylee Cuoco, who's Penny on The Big Bang Theory. God, Kids Choice Awards really loves The Big Bang Theory. They always put a ton of nominees in there for that. We have Millie Bobby Brown, who's 11 on Stranger Things. We have Peyton Elizabeth Lee, who is Andy Mack on Andy Mack. We have Raven Simone, who's Raven Baxter on Raven's Home. And we have the yoga pose as Casey Cooper. That's an old,
I say Millie
that's an
Bobby
old
Brown.
Pie Guy joke. It's Zendaya. She's who's actually relevant to this recast.
Yeah.
She's MJ.
And that's
MJ.
why I'm putting my vote towards her.
Millie Bobby
But-
Brown.
But she's nominated for Casey Cooper. So,
I don't care.
All right, fine.
Out of all those actresses, I'm still picking her.
okay. Kuro, who did you say?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Okay. And Monsters?
Millie Bobby Brown.
See, this is tricky because No, you know what? I don't really, not crazy about MJ and Spider-Man. We'll get to that. I'll say Raven Simone, but Millie Bobby Brown's gonna win. Not for Raven's Home. I just, listen, she did all right, and that's so Raven.
Well, are we judging them based on them overall or for that role that they're in?
It's whatever your heart decides, Monsters.
Okay.
Boom. 11. Why do you like Millie Bobby Brown and something else?
I haven't seen her in anything else.
Oh, okay. Something also relevant to the recast. Also, this is a very eclectic source. Dude, okay, so favorite video game is the category. Just Dance, because Just Dance is always here. I don't know. It always sells like 8 billion copies. Someone's playing it. I don't know who. It's always there. We have Lego The Incredibles. We have Marvel's Spider-Man. We have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and for some reason, the picture for this is... It's like cropped.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know what's up with that.
It's got black bars on the top and bottom, and it's a picture of Mario shooting a fireball at Isabelle. It's very odd because all the other pictures are kind of like stock images that you see on like the cover. They always are weird with like picture choices. I swear they get it off Google.
The Marvel one has a copyright symbol on it.
Yeah, yeah. And did I say Super Mario Party?
No.
Okay, yeah, also Super Mario Party.
I haven't played any of these.
Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Smash?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm saying Smash,
Wow,
and I know
that's
Shadow
a bold
likes.
move.
I know Shadow
And
likes
I'm
both of
picking,
them.
I'm
Yeah,
choosing
I'm picking
Spider-Man
Smash.
because of
I'm
Yuri
picking
Lowenthal.
Smash.
But World of Light was so underwhelming.
I don't play it for World of Light. I play it for the actual,
Yeah.
fighting.
And World of Light kind of grew on me a little bit.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
but hey, listen, Marvel Spider-Man would be my second choice.
Same here. I just think that Smash, in terms of gaming, is a grander achievement.
I agree.
According to these guys, bigger is better. Okay, Smash Bros.
No votes for Just Dance, guys? Alright, I guess not. Okay, favorite movie. Oh no. Okay.
Bum,
Are we-
bum, bum, bum.
Okay, favorite movie. Aquaman. Inventions.
The inventors.
Avengers, Infinity Snaps, Black Panther, Mary Poppins Returns, The Kissing Booth, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. What is The Kissing Booth and To All the Boys I've Loved Before? Were those actual movies?
Must be.
I guess.
I only watch
Even
superhero
their pictures
films.
look exactly the same.
To me, I mean, there's not. This isn't even a question. Like, this isn't even a prompt. It's Infinity War.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
definitely.
Okay, all right, good. We're all good. We're all good. All right, favorite.
Aw.
Favorite movie actor. Oh, only 2 out of 3 Chris's this time. Interesting. We have Chadwick Boseman, who's T'Challa on Black Panther. Chris Evans, who is Captain America in Avengers: Infinity War, also relevant to Spider-Man. Chris Hemsworth, who's Thor. Dwayne. Whoa. They just said Dwayne Johnson. You can't do that.
Yeah.
There has to be a The Rock in quotes in between. You
And
don't.
for all things skyscraper. I guess that's just his
They
most
should have
recent
chose
work. but-
Jumanji.
Yeah, for real.
Was that 2018?
Yeah, I think so.
It was like Christmas of 2017 and ran into 2018. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
We have Jason
Momoa.
who plays Aquaman on Aquaman. And we have Noah Cilantro,
Centineo.
who plays Peter Kavinsky in To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Well, guess who's not getting
One
picked?
of these is not like the other.
I honestly, I want to give it to Chadwick Boseman.
I'm
Okay.
giving it to Chris Evans because I love Cap.
I'll also give it to Chadwick, actually.
I feel like T'Challa is a harder character to master, so you really got to take skills to sell it.
It
Yeah,
really
but
takes skills to do that arm cross.
Yeah.
Chris Evans is never CG. Well, sometimes maybe, but less so than Black Panther. Oh, that's tough. Well, okay, here's the thing. You know what? Well, here's one of the deciding things. If it's for Infinity War, Captain America was not the star of that movie.
Yeah,
He didn't
but he
have
was
much
still
to do.
kick butt.
So I'll vote for Chris Hemsworth instead, actually, because I think in Infinity War, Thor is definitely like, I mean, aside from Thanos himself, Thor is probably the closest thing that movie has to a
Yeah, why
protagonist.
isn't Josh Brolin on here?
That's true.
Like, he would
Why isn't
definitely,
Ryan-
for that,
kids don't
that
like
and
villains.
Deadpool, like,
Where's
he would
Ryan Reynolds?
definitely win.
Well, Ryan Reynolds will be here next year for Detective Pikachu. He'll be nominated for something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
All right.
they can't say
so
Deadpool.
you guys both voted for Chadwick Boseman, so that's where we're going. Boom. All right. Favorite movie actress: Emily Blunt from Mary Poppins, who is also Mary Poppins. Joey King, who is Shelley L. Evans in The Kissing Booth. It's always like the same 4 movies. Like,
Yep.
Monsters. Could you please say the next name?
Lupita Nyong'o.
Okay. Who plays
Nakia.
Yep, in Black Panther. You have Rihanna. I know that name in person. Who played Nine Ball in Ocean's 8. You have Scarlett Johansson, who played Black Widow in Avengers: Infinity War. And you have Zoe Saldana, who played... What?
Cilantro?
Listen. It's late. I have special eyes.
Everyone's last name is Cilantro.
All right, fine. Zoe Salamander. Are you happy? Who plays Gamora in Infinity War. And I'm going to pick Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, my vote's for the salamander.
I am too.
Yep.
All right, good. To be
Unanimous.
fair, the font that they chose is the A's look like O's.
No?
No.
Shut up. All right. Favorite.
Wait,
we
so
have-
now
we have a
so
repeat
we just
category
finished
here.
picking actors. Now we're picking the characters that the actors
and we
play.
picked
Okay.
and we picked their movies too. All right. Favorite superhero. Sorry, Ben 10 and the Powerpuff Girls are not on here.
Ugh.
I'm actually surprised the Flash isn't on here because Grant Gustin was on here.
It's based on movies though, dude. All right, we have Chadwick Boseman again. Interesting. The prompt is favorite superhero, but it's asking us for names, for like actual actor names, which is weird. I'll say the superhero names because that's easier. So we have Black Panther, Captain America, Thor, Aquaman, Iron Man, and Black Widow.
Iron Man.
Thor.
Again, one of these things is not like the other. Aquaman is really out of place right now because everyone else
He's
is
repping
Marvel.
DC.
Yep. My vote's for Iron Man though, just because I love Robert Downey Jr. and like every single
I can't.
time. he
Robert
shows up.
Downey Jr. is my favorite superhero.
Yep, same.
Who'd you say, Monsters?
Thor. Because just based on his performance in Infinity War compared to the others, I think he's really the heart and soul of that movie.
Yeah, but like, I gotta go with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I mean, I like all these guys, I really do, but it's. I mean, to be fair, I also just watched Homecoming, so it's the most fresh.
Look at the arc, too, going from the first Thor to Infinity War.
Look at the
Favorite
arc reactor
butt-
on my bad boy, Iron Man. Okay, so favorite butt kicker. Oh, good, Chris Pratt got on here in a different way. Favorite butt kicker, because we didn't just see all of these names like 2 seconds ago, except for Chris Pratt and Michael B. Jordan. So we have Chris Pratt from Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. We have Monsters
Denai Guerrera.
from who plays Okoye from Black Panther. We have
Okoye.
Dwayne. Oh, excuse me.
I knew that one.
All right, fine. I only saw Black Panther once. We have Dwayne the Blank Johnson. We have Emily Clark. who
Amelia.
oh my god. All right, Monsters, why don't you read the names then?
Are you sure?
No, because I enjoy
Okay.
getting the names wrong. Sometimes
Okay.
I do it intentionally, sometimes I don't, and you never know which is which. So we have Amelia Clark, who plays
Kira.
Kira Solo in a Star Wars.
No.
No, it's not Kira Solo. Solo is. Man, we're only halfway done.
Oh god, alright, I'll speed read. Solo Star Wars story. Michael B. Jordan, not for Black Panther, but for Adonis Johnson in Creed 2, and Zoe Salamander from Gamora.
Salamander.
From Gamora.
From Gamoras of the Galaxy
I'll go
Infinity
with Michael
War.
B. Jordan.
I will too, not for Creed 2, but for yeah.
Because he watches anime.
I'd want to give it to Michael B. Jordan for Killmonger, but it's for Creed 2, which I haven't seen, so I don't know how he fares in that.
I'd give it to Michael B. Jordan for Fantastic Four Stick.
For Fan Four Stick. Oh man. Oh, at least he redeemed himself.
I'll give it to him for being in that new Rooster Teeth show.
All right, well, 3 of us voted. Sorry, Crow, we're picking Michael B. Jordan. Who was your vote?
Salamander.
Okay. Favorite animated... Oh, boy.
Oh, here we go.
A favorite animated movie... Oh, well, this just isn't even... I mean...
Oh, this is obvious
this is
already.
also foreshadowing.
Yeah, Peter Rabbit.
Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation, Incredibles 2, Peter Rabbit, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and who cares what the last one is? We're picking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Of
Right?
course.
Right? Unless
Yes.
someone wants to maybe go on a rant about Incredibles
No,
2.
don't let the audio people know what it was.
Okay. It's okay. Favorite male voice from an animated movie. You got Adam Sandler as Dracula in Hotel Transylvania. You got Andy Samberg is in Hotel Transylvania. I didn't even know that. Oh, I like Andy Samberg. You got Benedict Cumberbatch from the movie we didn't name last time. I'll still let you guess. We have Channing Tatum for Migo and Smallfoot. James Corden as Peter Rabbit. And we have one of the breakout stars of Incredible Crew, Cartoon Network's late 2000s, early 2010s classic sketch comedy series. Also, he plays Miles Morales in Into the Spider-Verse. Shamik Moore. I'm going with him. I mean,
Yeah, of course. Me too.
I would have said, have you guys seen The Grinch?
No.
no.
Oh, well, Benedict Cumberbatch's performance is amazing in that movie, and that's why I want to vote for that. But
Does it top Jim Carrey?
see, because it's about the voice. Like, if it was character, I would choose Miles all the way. But because like Benedict Cumberbatch's voice was so good in that movie, you guys got to see it. But yeah, do Shamik.
Okay. I mean, you're not wrong in that Cumberbatch does have a very good voice, but I just
It's the most range I've seen him in like any of his performances.
we're going for the underdog. All right. Favorite female voice actor from an animated movie. Gal Gadot, who played Shank in Ralph Breaks the Internet. Haley Steinfeld, who played Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We have Kristen Bell, who played Jade Wilson in Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Did Slade has a son? Daughter? Slade has a
You'll
daughter? Oh, God.
It makes sense if you watch the movie.
Okay. Selena Gomez, who plays Mavis in Hotel Transylvania 3. Yara
Shahidi,
who plays Brenda in Smallfoot. And Zendaya, who plays someone else in Smallfoot.
I'm going with Zendaya because Zendaya is Michi.
What?
My vote's for Kristen Bell.
Wait, what kind of sentence is that? I swear, like 3 of those words are not words.
Zendaya is Michi.
I'm going for Haley Steinfeld.
I'll go for Kristen Bell too, actually.
Really?
My
yeah,
boy.
really.
All right. Well, Monsters and I haven't seen this movie, so
Watch the movie.
we will be going to the movies for the community cast coming in a few weeks. All right. We have favorite music group. Oh, well, one of these is gonna get hate. We got Fall Out Boy. We got Imagine Dragons. We got the band who didn't play Sweet Victory at the Super Bowl. We have the Three Amigos. We got the Chainsmokers, who teamed up with Coldplay and don't know what superheroes do anything because that song is weird. And we got 21 Pilots.
How are the Chainsmokers on here for the Kids' Choice Awards?
Yeah,
I'm surprised they can even have that name on here.
Well, they had Suicide Squad, remember? That
Yeah,
was you can Suicide
but this
Squad.
is like I don't know. Somehow this is worse to me.
Really? How about when they did Bang Bang Into the Room?
I forgot about that.
I don't want to tell you what kind of bicycle, but anyway.
I'm going with 21 Pilots.
I'm going with 21 Pilots. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my vote would be for Fall Out Boy.
That would
'cause
be
they're
my
the
vote
only
too,
one
just
I'd-
because
Fall Out Boy has
nostalgia.
changed so much. Like, they used to be a really cool emo band, but now they do, like, poppy crap.
I mean,
and
they got
Anthem.
some good, more recent songs like Centuries.
I like
Did they do Uma
Immortals.
Thurman?
Yeah, they
Immortals,
did.
yeah, for Big Hero
They-
6.
Yeah, for Big Hero 6, yeah.
I don't listen to 21 Pilot stuff, but I know that there's
What?
a lot of artistic value that goes into it.
21 Pilots is the music of our generation, and by that I mean they sing about depression a lot.
Which is why I don't like it.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Edgy. You only.
I'm sorry. I try to live a positive
you
life.
only.
I'm sorry.
You only like the pseudo edge. You're like you're
Yeah.
a Hot Topic goth.
like-
That's you.
I like over the top edge. I don't like actual depressing, sad,
I mean, there's
boring,
definitely
gray.
a correlation between Hot Topic and Fall Out Boy.
If you can name me a Fall Out Boy song that I've heard of and care about, I'll switch my vote.
Thanks for the memories.
Immortals?
Oh God, I hate that song. Thanks
You don't
for
like
the memories.
Thanks for the Memories?
You don't like that
No.
song?
Even
Oh my
if they
God,
weren't
that's like-
so good.
Sugar, we're going down swinging.
Tastes like you only sweeting.
Dance
What?
Dance.
Dance,
This ain't a
dance,
scene, it's
yeah.
an arms race. Those are That's when Fall Out Boy was good. They're not good anymore. So
Alright,
let's
well,
go with 21 Pilots.
I ain't changing my vote, so someone
Yeah,
else has to.
I don't know. I'm pretty firm believing in Fall Out Boy. I really
Same.
don't want to vote for 21
Why isn't there a
Pilots.
skip option?
Let's just all vote Maroon 5 then.
It's,
No.
Oh, the internet would roast us.
I mean, I would actually honestly vote Maroon 5 over the Chainsmokers, so I'd vote for any of these groups over the Chainsmokers.
that's
so.
fair, but that
Yeah.
wasn't up for debate.
Well, Monsters, you said Fall Out
Listen.
Boy at least used to be good. So,
Yeah, but we're talking about the current state of things. Fall Out
Heathens.
Boy was good before 21 Pilots even existed.
Tearing my heart,
yeah, well, 21 Pilots was like a blip.
holding
Like,
on to you.
I don't even know if they do anything anymore.
They're still popular.
I thought
Really?
they had that one song. I
The
only know
car
one
radio
song
one.
by them.
Yeah, like when
what-
that blew up like
excuse me.
crazy.
Imagine Dragons is the Nickelback of our
What
generation.
about Lane Boy?
I
what about-
don't think I've
what-
heard that.
What about Stressed Out? You've heard Stressed Out.
That's
I've heard
the
Stressed
only
Out.
song
What
I
about
know.
Heathens?
That's time.
Heathens is good.
No, I just know the one.
Oh my god. I'm making like some like 16-year-old girl really happy right now that I'm referencing all these 21 Pilots songs. But you know what? Guys, I do really like 21 Pilots, but I'm not the biggest musical person, so I will switch the vote to Fall Out Boy just
I was gonna say, why don't we just compromise the middle and go with Migos because they're the only one we haven't crapped on yet.
I don't know.
I don't
them.
even.
No,
do I
I'll
know a Migos song?
I'll
What's
switch
a-
to
name
Fall Out
me a
No,
Boy.
Migos
I
song.
don't.
Raindrop.
I couldn't tell you.
Drop top.
Oh.
All right, Fall Out Boy. I'm sorry.
Oh, I already know my answer.
Favorite oh, god. Favorite male artist. We got Bruno Mars. We got Mimi Khalid.
DJ Khaled.
We got Wheelchair Jimmy from Degrassi. We never forget. He came from the streets. Degrassi.
We have Boo Boo from the live action Yogi Bear.
Is that really?
Yeah.
I would have gone with a Trolls reference, but we got Justin Timberlake. We got Luke Bryan. Who is that, guys?
I
Country
feel like that's
singer.
one of those names I always hear, but I don't know any of their songs.
He does like arena
Yep.
country. It's really bad.
And we got Shawn Mendes, who I also don't know. Or, no. Shawn Mendes.
I'm going with Bruno Mars. He's
Yeah,
so
I
cool.
really like Bruno Mars.
My vote is for King Arthur from Shrek the Third.
In case I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of that movie, who?
It's Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, my vote's for Justin Timberlake, too, is the thing. I actually like his music.
Another impasse.
Bruno Mars has fantastic New Jack Swing influenced R&B, 80s synth amazingness.
All right, fine. Well, but hang on. Wait,
Have you heard Justin Timberlake's latest album, Man in the Woods?
No,
It's
no,
so
I
bad.
don't regularly
Would
listen.
Justin Timberlake catch a grenade for you?
Oh.
His latest album is like country rap, and it's really bad.
All right, which song is more annoying, Happy or
Happy. I don't even care what the other one is.
Okay, the other one's
Happy's a Pharrell Williams song.
I know, but I do hate that song.
It's still annoying.
Okay, Bruno Mars is not Pharrell Williams, so I'll go with Bruno Mars then. Actually, wait,
Yeah, I don't listen to any of them, so
I don't
I'm
listen-
fine with that.
Yeah, all right.
I just said Justin Timberlake because I wanted to make a Shrek reference.
Oh, I don't like any of these
Oh
already.
no!
favorite
All right, I'm not even gonna vote, so you guys can decide. on
Just
this
give
one.
it to Beyonce.
favorite female artist. We got Cat from Sam and Cat. We got Beyonce from Beyonce. We have
Camila Cabello.
we have Cardi B. We have Selena Gomez. We got Taylor Swift. I have no opinion.
Beyonce.
Well, I have... All right, fine, Beyonce, because she wasn't on a terrible sitcom, as far as I know. Right? You guys, Kuro Shadow, you good?
That's fun. Yeah.
I'm not voting, so yeah.
Bianc, it is. Favorite song? Have I heard any of these? The answer
I have
is
not
no.
heard any of these.
Nope.
I can't vote.
Yes, you have.
I've heard.
I haven't
I've
either.
heard Youngblood, and I've
All right,
heard
hey-
Thank You Next. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Let's list them.
All right.
We have Delicate, Taylor Swift, In My Blood, Shawn Mendes, In My Feelings, Drake. Which one's is blood deeper than feeling?
In My Dragons.
In My Soul Stone. We have Natural by Imagine Dragons. We have Thank You Next by Ariana Grande, which is how I feel about that one. We have Youngblood from 5 Seconds of Summers. Monsters, which of these songs have I heard?
In My Feelings, probably. And it's the one where the people hop out of their car and do the dance.
I do not listen to the radio. I go
It
on
was in
Google-
YouTube Rewind.
I do not watch YouTube Rewind.
Wow.
Nope.
I watch YouTube Rewind. I don't remember that.
Ah, that's hot. I'm going with Thank You Next.
What?
Really? I hate
Yeah.
the name. I don't even know what it is. I
It's a
hate the
boppy
name.
song.
There's no capital letters in that name.
Who cares?
You're speaking to someone who made a top 10 list about SpongeBob, who made 2 top 10 lists about SpongeBob titles, and a guy named Shadowstreak who goes on like 15-minute long rants in his videos about Powerpuff Girls frequent titles. So titles are very important, my friend.
Well, no, the title makes sense. It's just stylized to be undercase.
Okay, what was your vote, Kara?
Youngblood.
Well, I do like that character on Danny Phantom, so I'll go with that too. And that's how it's decided. Sorry, Monsters,
Sweet.
even though you've actually listened to this music. Overruled by a stupid reference. Okay, favorite breakout
None of these
artist.
guys are breakout artists.
What does this mean? What does this mean?
Dan and Shay have been a thing for like the past 5 years.
All right, we have Billie Elfish. We have Cardi B.
Cardi B.
We have Carly Shay. We have Juice WRLD. We have Kane Brown. And we got Sunflower featuring Post Malone.
I'm gonna pick Posty.
Yeah.
I hate Post Malone, but I like the song Sunflowers, which he's in. So, and
There
I
it
don't know.
is.
I don't know any of the rest of these people. So, Shadow, who's your vote?
You go ahead. I'm not gonna vote. I am a music hipster who hates 99% of all modern pop music,
Okay.
so I'm not
Oh
voting.
no.
Oh God, more music. No, stop it. Why is there only one category for cartoons? I've always hated that fact. All right, we got Girls Like You, Maroon 5 featuring Cardi B. We got Happier, the sequel to Pharrell Williams' hit song Happy from Marshmello and Bastille. We got I Like It by Cardi B and Bad Bunny and J Balvin. And we got Meant to Be by BB Rexha featuring Florida Georgia Line. We got No Brainer featuring DJ Khaled, featuring Justin Bieber, featuring Chance the Rapper, featuring Quavo.
What a freaking group.
Sicko Mode. Travis Scott featuring Wheelchair Jimmy. Dude, I don't
like any of these songs, but I'm gonna go with Sicko Mode.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't think anybody's gonna vote for Sicko Mode.
After what happened at the Super Bowl, yeah.
I've only heard.
Hey, it's better than Girls Like You.
I don't think I've heard that.
No vote.
It's like a really pandering song.
I like the beat to the song. I like it.
All right, someone please pick one of these because I have no vote either.
Well, I mean, my vote was I like it.
Okay,
because I like the
I
beat.
can't stand Cardi B.
I vote for that.
I'll vote for that too because I ain't picking Sicko Mode. Sorry,
I want the
Monsters.
comments to roast you guys for picking Cardi B. All right, anyway.
Cardi B.
Sicko Mode, dude. The song that
Favorite social music star?
I can't. What is a social music star?
Favorite social music
Who, all right, I
What?
legitimately don't know a single person on this list.
We got Baby Little
Baby
Mermaid.
Ariel. Yeah, she's from Musically.
Why do you know all these people, Monsters?
I pay too close attention to celebrity culture.
I never knew this about you. All right, we got Chloe and Haley. We got Jack and Jack.
They're from
Attack.
Vine.
We got Joe and Joe. Sawia. We got Max and Harvey. Beaks. And we got Why Don't We?
They're a boy band that was brought to light by Logan Paul.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
like the.
not them then.
I don't like.
Well, I'm not voting for any of these.
I don't
Let's
I
go
like
with
either.
JoJo Siwa.
You know what? She seems to be happy and loving life. Although I feel like she has a show on Nickelodeon, so I don't really like that. But you know what? Fine. We'll pick JoJo and her circus, and her bizarre adventures. Okay, JoJo it is. Favorite social star? Oh my God, social star.
Hey, read off the names.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We have MonstersReview. How'd you get on here? No, we got David Dobrik. We got Emma Chamberlain. We got Guava Juice. We got what? Oh God. We got. I didn't say that one. That name wasn't a joke. That's just his name, right? I'm not mispronouncing.
No, that is his
Okay.
name. That's why I'm laughing.
All right. We got Lily Singh. We got Miranda Sings. We got. Oh no. We got soon to be featured on Nickelodeon. Wow, this kid looks like 3 years old.
First name Ryan, last name Toys Review.
Give it to the Toys Review, dude.
Dude, I vote for
Okay,
him.
one thing I want to bring up. I watched David Dobrik. His content is very explicit, very like frat boy college thing. I don't know why he's on a list for the Kids' Choice Award, but I'm going with him because his content is amazing.
I want to pick Guava Juice.
No, I'm sold on Ryan Toys Review.
Yeah, that's my vote. Just
Alright.
because he's there.
All right, fine. When his show comes out, I'm gonna force you guys to watch it. We're gonna do the 40th recast. No, the like 80th recast episode. We'll compare the two
We're
Ryan
gonna
Toys
compare his
Review
YouTube
episodes.
show to his Nickelodeon show. Oh no!
What is this? Okay, well, I guess this category makes sense. Favorite gamer. We have
I quit.
we have Dan TDM. At least this is something kids care about. All right.
Where's PewDiePie?
Let's
Yeah, I
be
was gonna say,
honest.
this is crazy that this is like an actual category on national television.
Where's my boy Chugga Conroy? We got Dan.
Yeah, right.
We got Dan TDM. We got Jacksepticeye. We got Markiplier. We got Ninja. We got popular MMOs. And we got Sniper Wolf.
Which one do you think screams the loudest?
Isn't Sniper Wolf?
Jacksepticeye.
All right, that's my vote.
Sniper
Oh.
Wolf used to be a COD YouTuber.
No, but I'm pretty sure I heard.
I thought Sniper Wolf was a character from Metal Gear Solid 1.
You're thinking of Sniper Wolf. This is Sniper Wolf.
I'm going with Markiplier.
I'm going with Markiplier too.
Yeah, I don't like Jacksepticeye's name. It gives me it makes me think of like someone's rancid septic eye in their socket, and it's just like.
He sounds like a wizard,
I
don't know.
All right,
like
Kuro?
the ancient sorcerer Jacksepticeye.
All right, fine. I'll
All
go
right,
with
give it to Markiplier.
Yeah, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. What?
What? Freaking Greek
No.
band. This is a joke. This isn't.
The topic is favorite Greek band, which like there's no disrespect to the Greek people of Greece, but like
voice actors isn't a category.
But well, it's like, why that country over any country? Like, they just picked a country on a map, even though they already had one that was like a global based. All right, okay. I'll read off the list, but we have Melisses, H. Grant, we have Inko, we have Onorama, and we have Players.
This looks like it was randomly generated. Like they built a system and just made this.
Player's picture looks like it was poorly photoshopped.
All right, I'll pick Players too, I guess.
All right, I'll go for them.
I'll be Players too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Have any of us heard of any of these?
No.
No.
There we go. Boom. Great.
Oh my
Are we
god.
on- Wait a minute. Did I click on the Greek Kid Choice Swords by mistake?
Oh no.
No, it doesn't look like it. I don't think. Although they've been using the U, so maybe Greece is now Nickelodeon's
Are you on the wrong one?
No, I don't. I hope not. I mean, it's too late. Favorite Greek singer, Demi, not Demi Moore, just Demi. Elena Paparazzi. I don't know. Hippopot. Eleni Forza, Malibu, Tomato, and Van. Oh my God, I don't know. I give up. Vangelis?
I vote for Malibu.
Yeah, I vote for Malibu too.
Her name's Malibu. But yes, I agree. Sure, why not?
This episode was sponsored by Chevy Malibu.
I like-
No, it wasn't.
No.
Don't actually believe me.
Real co-hosts, not actors. I like Malibu's picture because it looks like it was taken. She looks like a stock photo.
She looks like Shigo in that new Kim Possible movie. Like,
All right, guys.
is this the actor for it? Favorite Greek influence.
Again, we mean no disrespect to the people of Greece. Like, this is just random, not expecting. We have Akis Petrikov, Ganis Hats, My Life as Maria
Giannis.
99, and Panos Dent Games.
Give it to
Yeah,
my
I'm with the
bubble
gum
butt
guy.
Yeah,
jacket wearing dude
that's
right
a
there.
professional
Giannis
photo.
Hatzigeorgo.
Sure. All right. Thanks for choosing your faves. For results and more, check your local listings. And I like how this year they didn't put the little disclaimer at the bottom that was like, there was one year where they put this disclaimer that was like, it was something like votes may not matter or something. Like, they dressed it up, but essentially it was like, we reserve the right to pick whatever the heck we want, and everyone was up in arms, and fairly, I think. All right, you guys want to do round two?
No.
Shout out Pieguy for picking Greek ones.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
look
let's
at
do
that.
the Romanian one now.
So wait, what did happen there, Monsters? Did we legitimate?
So you clicked on the Greek one, must be, because I went to the correct one and there was no U in the favorites and there was only 28 categories, but I'm pretty sure from what I skimmed through, everything besides those Greek ones tagged at the end were the same.
Well, it wouldn't be a Kids' Choice Awards voting video for me if there wasn't just like some really weird faux pas. So there we go. Are you all satisfied with this? What just happened? I had a good time.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all learned a little bit about monsters today.
I know I did.
I learned a little bit about
about
Greece.
music
and their culture.
influencer communication peoples. Yeah, there was no voice actor for like animated series. Nope. Forget it. Who cares, right? Who cares about those people? Tom Kenny? Nah, whatever. What's he done for the network? Who cares?
Nah, who's your favorite song
Who's
collaboration?
your favorite social music star? I still can't get over that. What does that even mean?
Okay. All right. Monsters, did you pick a question of the week?
Yes, I did.
Let's quickly answer it.
Pixar Princess asks, what other YouTube channels do you guys watch?
I watch.
Uh,
You know what? I watch all three of you guys.
Thanks. I don't watch cartoon videos.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I do
Ouch.
support my friends.
Oh yeah, I
I fight for my friends.
I'll take it.
Aw.
Yeah.
I keep up with all of you guys, and aside from that, I don't really watch anything because I'm mostly drawing. So I mostly like watch stuff that I don't really have to visually pay attention to, like top 10 videos, those
Mhm.
really long like music compilations, like stuff just for the fact that there's
Mhm.
noise. But yeah, I don't really keep up with like any YouTubers.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I'm
aside from
kind of the
people I
same way.
know
I still
anymore.
watch. Well, actually, you know what? A lot of our recast guests. You know, I watch Chugga. I watch Leia's videos. Nintendo's Cosmodors. Here's an answer, like, just, for something out of the usual sphere of influence. I watch a series called Another Dirty Room by a YouTuber called This Is Dan Bell. It's basically it's not safe for children, so
he's the guy that does abandoned malls, right?
He does, yes.
Yeah, I've seen that series.
Yeah, so
did he just do a video on Chuck E. Cheese? Because I think I just watched one of his videos the other day.
No, I think you might be thinking of Defunctland or someone else.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, I saw someone tour an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese, so yeah, that was just one of the videos I click on.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm kind of the same as you, Kuro, where these days I kind of let the algorithm. I know it's blasphemy. I know the algorithm is bad. Everyone hates it, but I do kind of let it decide. I don't watch a ton of YouTube, but every so often I watch a lot of miscellaneous small gaming channel type stuff. I just watched someone rank all of the Batman Arkham games, which was kind of pointless because obviously it's going to be Origins, Night, Asylum, and City. That's just, everyone knows that.
Yep.
But I watch stuff like that, or someone will make a top 10 video on Pokemon or something. I just kind of let the algorithm take me to those random people. And I mean, for all the crap the algorithm gets, it's there has to be some sort of algorithm, and it is not the worst at actually recommending me channels that I don't regularly watch.
Thanks, FBI.
No, it's you. That's YouTube. Shadow Streak, what do you watch? Tell me. I want those pictures of Spider-Man on my desk.
I mean, yeah, like you said, pretty much everyone, everyone here or who's been on the recast before. And I mean, yeah, that's basically it. And I guess Some Call Me Johnny.
Oh.
Is another one.
Of course.
He's my favorite game reviewer, but that's really about it,
I also watch Nigahiga, I forgot. He's the only YouTuber I used to watch back in the day that I still keep up with. Just because he's the most unchanged. His production quality gets better, but his humor and his format has always been the same for the past decade. So.
Right, and
it's stuff I like too. So.
And doesn't he just upload whenever he feels like to?
Yeah.
You don't see that
every video is he does a lot of crazy projects now. Lately his videos are they take so long to make, but it's because he puts so much high production value in it. And yeah.
All right, we all answered, right? Yep. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, Pixar Princess, for that. And thank you for your contributions, continuous contributions on the Recast Discord. Link in the description if you want to join the conversation there. Next week on the Recast, Monsters, take it away.
Okay, next week on the Recast, we got I wanna be the very best. We got some Pokemon, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'd catch that.
You gonna catch them all?
We're not going to tell you the specific episode. Just binge the whole series. Don't worry about
watch every single Pokemon anime from 1998 to present.
And the movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And play all the games, too, just to be safe. No, what episodes are we talking about?
First, we're going to be talking about the episode Bye Bye Butterfree from OG Pokemon. Bit of a tearjerker.
Mm-hmm. Not as sad as Pikachu's Goodbye, but it's up there.
Yeah. And then we'll be comparing that to the episode Crossing Paths from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
Ooh. What does that have in common?
I don't know. You were the one that came up with that comparison.
Oh.
Expect me to sing a lot of Pokemon theme songs.
Oh, man.
Do. Who's that?
I just had to do the Poke rap for a video.
Really?
We all live in a Pokemon world.
Pokemon.
I want to be the very best of them all.
All right, guys. Okay, everyone. That's fine. That's enough. That's plenty. Okay, are you guys ready for us to get to our feature presentation? Are you ready to hear us finally talk about Into the Spider-Verse? Well, you shouldn't be, because we're going to talk about Homecoming first. Shadow Streak, please bless us with your beautiful voice as you describe what this movie is.
Oh, why, thank you. All right, so Spider-Man Homecoming is basically, it's Spider-Man's, quote, introduction to the MCU. I mean, he was in Civil War for an extended cameo, but this was his real big break into the MCU with his own standalone film, completely different from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and the Andrew Garfield movies as well. It basically begins with this man played by Michael Keaton who is working for some contractor or whatever and cleaning up the aftermath of the original Avengers battle that happened in New York. He's like scavenging with like the alien technology and whatnot, and they get taken over, and he essentially loses his job. And then we progress 8 years later, which that's a talking point. And we find out that he essentially becomes the Vulture, and he's like, he's raiding like this alien tech, and he's like selling weapons underground, and he's making a bunch of money, and he's doing it for his family. Meanwhile, Peter Parker is adjusting to his life as Spider-Man. He has the Spider-Man suit that he got from Tony in Civil War. And it basically follows Peter in a chain of events. It's the typical teenager wanting to go against the mentor type deal, where he thinks he's ready to do these things, and his mentor, Tony Stark, tells him he's not. And for example, he goes to Washington, D.C., and he takes the tracker out of his suit. He enables different programs that were originally locked behind, the training wheel protocol and things like that.
Now you're going into too much detail.
I am.
Maybe a little bit.
We're going to get demonetized.
Long story short, he tries to stop the Vulture from selling these weapons and hurting people. And he goes all over the place. He goes to Washington, D.C., he goes to Staten Island. And there's a lot of fights and action. There's also a romance subplot with this girl he likes. And yeah, it's overall probably, in terms of the live action Spider-Man's, my second favorite live action Spider-Man movie.
Right after Spider-Man 3, right?
Yeah, of course. The best
The Amazing
one.
Spider-Man 2, yeah.
No, my favorite Spider-Man movie is actually Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Which I think is great, but Homecoming's definitely my second favorite.
On the next Spider-Man recast, Spider-Man 2 versus the Spider-Man for PS4. Homecoming, it's a great film, and it's a great take on Peter Parker and superheroes, because it is very much a film about trying to bring a lot of these superhero elements to just like the real world. Like, Peter is just like this awkward kid who falls over, and like his superheroics, sometimes like his gadgets don't work like he thinks they should because he's inexperienced, and like one of the cool things is that he has this big superhero feat that, like, in any other movie, like, right, he webs the two sides of the boat together, and he's holding them together, and it's a big superhero moment, and then it just falls apart because logistically he didn't think of everything. Like, because in the real world, like, a big superhero stunt like that probably wouldn't work because of physics or something. But like, the movie kind of takes painstaking effort to show, like, and then also like all these little minute things about like being a high schooler, like the stupid horrible CRT TVs that like teachers play these weird videos on, and the parties and just like all sorts of very little things. Like, I don't know, there's like this little moment where like these kids are like wondering what Ned and Peter are doing, and they're like playing chess in the background, and it's just like, what are you doing? And he's like, chess. I don't know, it's just like the movie is filled with a lot of little real things. What do you think about the movie, Kuro?
I'm trying to think of ways to talk about it without comparing it to Spider-Verse yet.
I know. We'll honestly be pretty brief about this because I have a lot of the big talking points are comparisons to Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I would say this is definitely one of the best MCU films, one of the best Spider-Man films. It's really good. It definitely was more enjoyable the second time watching it around, because the first time I was watching it under the impression that it was like a Marvel film, so you kind of go into it with that kind of guise and everything. But it's less of a superhero film and more of just like about Peter, but the superhero stuff they do is like still fantastic.
It's a high school movie.
I wish there was more scenes with him like actually swinging around on the webs, because like all the Sam Raimi and the Andrew Garfield movies, they have like these like 2 to 3 minute sequences of Peter just swinging around, showing off like all the cool effects and everything. They didn't do that in this movie, and I kind of missed it. Wouldn't have really helped anything, but it's just something I would like to see. Vulture was amazing.
Yeah.
I did not care for his love interest though.
I don't think I don't think you're supposed to care about her, because you are to an extent, but she's not given much focus. Which, I mean, I guess if you're going along the lines of like this is like a typical high school movie, then yeah, sure, though they would give the love interest just like, she's a pretty girl, he likes her. Like, Yeah, she doesn't get much depth. Considering her ties to the villain, that she's the villain's daughters. Spoilers. Like, yeah, they don't do a ton with her, but there are still little moments. Like, I really like the moment where Peter's about to go off Spider-Manning, and he runs into her, and she's like leading the team to go do a rebellious activity, and she mentions she read it in a book. She has this kind of like really dorky moment where she's really like, I guess, like vulnerable to him, and he feels bad because it's kind of the first time he's split between doing something as Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's a very recurring theme in Spider-Man. And so that was like the first time. And there wasn't really even a hesitation, which was cool.
I really liked the moment where, and I wish they didn't spoil it in the trailers because it took away from it so much, but where Peter says, like, if you really cared, you would be here, and then the Iron Man suit opens up and he really is there.
Yes.
That would have been much more powerful if I didn't know it was coming.
Well, that moment is also like, I mean, we just talked about like favorite superhero or favorite actors and stuff with Robert Downey Jr. and that scene in particular. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is not in the movie a ton. He has a big presence, but he's not in the movie a ton. But that moment where not only is he in the suit, but he steps out of the suit and he like gets right in Peter's face. Like that was so like I felt that, like I felt disappointed in myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like if Robert Downey Jr. was right there in my face saying like, "No kid, I did listen to you and I did take precautions. It was you who messed up." Like, oh man, how could you disappointed Iron Man, dude?
Yeah.
Monsters, what do you think of this film?
I like it. I agree with Kuro. I think it's in the better half of MCU movies. It's probably among the most visually interesting MCU movies, though. I don't know if that's saying much because most of the other MCU movies aren't visually interesting at all.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Tom Holland is a good Peter Parker, but I don't know. Like when I think of Peter Parker, I don't really think of Tom Holland. And just like I feel like in this movie, I paid very close attention to the way he was acting, and I think he pulls off the performance very well. But I think he over-exaggerates the nervousness too much, like the just kind of the repetition of like the oh I'm sorry or like the hi Mr. Stark, like like the stuttering and acting all nervous and antsy and
I totally disagree with that.
I don't know, like I feel like he kind of like over-exaggerates that to. I don't know, because he really plays on that young teenager.
There's only one time in the film where that really bothers me.
Where is it?
That's during the big reveal where he's meeting the dad in the room and he's just constantly looking over. It's like, can't you be a little more subtle? Like,
let's.
I don't know. That's the only time.
But yeah, Vulture's a good villain. I really like that twist.
That's a good segue because that was. I mean, it's kind of easy to forget, I guess, but like. That was such a twist. No one in my movie theater saw that. There was a huge gasp because the trailers would always spoil this. Every time, every movie, if there's something like this, the trailers would spoil it or it would be obvious. And in retrospect, it is obvious. Because the movie does a great job at showing him right at the very start and like, hey, I got a picture that my daughter drew. We know he's like a family man. But like they don't dwell on it and there's enough space in the movie between that and like him showing up again that I don't know, it just doesn't even register. And also the race thing, like that is such a clever use of casting because she's mixed race, so you don't immediately think like, oh, this white guy who's the villain of the movie is going to be blood related to her. Just playing on subtle biases that you would not assume that. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't, I guess.
I accidentally read a review and spoiled that for me before I saw the movie. I was
dude.
I do everything I can to try to avoid spoilers. Like, I had Quicksilver's death spoiled for me before I saw Ultron. Man,
that sucks because that was. There is, I mean, it basically they get like a twofer out of it because it's one when the doors opened and it's revealed who her dad is, and then it's the second one in the car where he knows who Peter is. That moment is a very intense moment as well, and that's another one that's just like you feel in the pit of your stomach, like, oh God, Michael Keaton is coming for me. Like, Michael Keaton is scary. He is very scary. I mean, like, it's like they were like, well, oh, what was his face? The Green Goblin.
Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, they're
Willem
like,
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe is intense and scary and horrifying without a mask on. Who can we get that's like that level energy? It's like, okay, Michael Keaton, sure.
Yeah, no, I'm actually in complete agreement there. I mean, like, I've seen enough media at this point in my life where most of the time I can predict something like, oh, this person's related to this person or whatever. But like you said, it's obvious once you know it, but before you know it, like, the film does it so well that, like, you would never, well, I mean, some people would, but most people would never make that connection, because there are subtle hints, but they're so subtle that you don't really think about it until it's told to you. It's like a mind game, essentially.
Another bias thing, not race related, but villain related, is that Marvel has had a problem with weak villains that are mirrors of the protagonist. And so, like, you aren't necessarily expecting that he's going to have this really good connection with Peter, because, you know, not all Marvel villains really have that, unfortunately. And it is funny because, like, you around this time, you kind of heard a string of, like, you know, Zemo is the first Marvel villain that's like a good villain. Like, you know, Killmonger is the first Marvel villain that's a good villain. Like, Vulture is a good like I don't know. There was a lot of really good villains in Phase 3, and Vulture is one of them. Like, he's not I think what makes him great, and part of what makes this movie good and stand out from everything else in Marvel Cinematic Universe is, like Tony Stark said, he wants Spider-Man close to the ground. He, you know, not a world-ending threat. Like, honestly, even though these weapons were very, very dangerous weapons, it's still not like the world is going to just, like, suddenly explode if the Vulture gets them. Like, it's a smaller problem, but that's so great. Like, because it's a smaller problem and because it's close to the ground, it's like, you feel, it's like, okay, he's a family man. You know, he got the raw end of the deal in terms of the cleanup. He was commissioned by whoever to clean this up, and then last second, after he's rented all the equipment and done all the stuff, someone bigger, better, richer, whatever, some crew comes in and just says, nope, you're not doing this. We got the job.
Yeah.
It's relatable. It's understandable, and it's the little guy, and it's like he has a connection to Peter in that way, and that they're both quote unquote the little guy, but not like Keaton is in any way like, here's Spider-Man but a Vulture or something. You know what I mean? Like, not in powers, and
it's not like,
not in ideology.
It's not like Ant-Man and like, what was it? The
Yellow Jacket.
The Yellow Jacket, or like, you know,
Business
it's not
jerk.
just a carbon. Yeah. Abomination and Hulk. It's not just a carbon copy.
Right.
And I appreciate that too. I think anything, like, I think Zemo is actually an awful villain as a villain.
But he's a good hero. No,
he's no.
He's the hero we
think,
deserve.
Like, in terms of his in terms of the way he manages to succeed, I think he's a good villain. But in terms of having an actual character, I think he's barely got a character at all. But that's a discussion for another day. Anything post Zemo, though, I agree. I think most of Marvel's Phase 3 villains have been good, and I think Michael Keaton's Vulture might actually be my favorite, except for Thanos.
But Thanos is a hero. No.
Well, you know, it depends on your perspective, I guess. But yeah, I really do love Michael Keaton's performance as Vulture. So,
okay, well, I think I mean, there's definitely more to say about Homecoming, but a lot of this stuff is in comparison to Spider-Verse. So, you guys ready to start off on Spider-Verse?
Let's do it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, my sunflowers. So, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is about the one and only Spider-Man, Miles Morales, who basically gets bitten by a radioactive spider. You know the deal. But he comes across the original Spider-Man, Peter Parker, right in the middle of fighting crime, and spoilers, that Peter gets murderized by Kingpin. So it turns out that the Kingpin has this, like, matter reactor beam thing that brings in things from other universes, and all these other Spider-Man get sent to Miles' universe, and Miles has to step up and become a true Spider-Man with the help of his mentor, schlubby Peter B. Parker, who is like Spider-Man but a loser. And also there's a cartoon pig, there's an old-timey noir guy, and there's anime, and Spider-Gwen. And that's the story.
Not a single character is bland. Not a single one.
Vanessa's pretty bland.
Who's Vanessa?
It's the Kingpin's wife he's trying to get back.
She's not even a character.
I mean, yeah. Let's be honest. In this movie, she's more of an object. So I mean, no. I mean, like, if you want to be like dead serious, she kind of is.
She
but
is, like,
that's
she's like a
besides
plot
the point.
device, really.
She's a plot device, yeah.
That's exactly it. She's an object the Kingpin wants. That's literally what it is.
No, well, I don't really understand what his plan was. So was he just trying to like steal an alternate version of them from another world?
Basically,
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Because that didn't seem. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but like that just seems like really silly.
Yeah, okay, so I'm okay like mixing in comparisons and stuff. So like I would say that one of the things that Homecoming, like, okay, the Kingpin, I think, you know what, before anything else, let's talk about the visuals of this movie. Like, let's just do it, because like Into the Spider-Verse it's art. It's art. It is literally like yes, technically all the other movies and shows we talk about are art, but like this is art. This is like, we had a discussion on the recast, or this comes up frequently with like the Lion King remake and like all this other stuff that's trying to be hyper realistic, and we had this discussion about how like just because it's like it's technically impressive they can do that, but that's not art because it's not as creative. It is art. It's not as creative as making something stylistic. And this movie, oh my god, is it stylistic. Every shot looks like a poster. Every shot. You could take any still frame of this movie and hang it up on your wall, and someone would be like, dude, that's awesome. Like, that's this movie. Kuro, I really want to hear your take.
So I read they had like hundreds of artists working on this movie, and like every single frame was like perfectly crafted. Like I watched this one review where this guy, he took like just clips of the movie and slowed them down and showed like all the precision and detail they put in this movie. The only thing I didn't like was they tried to replicate this the effect where like the colorization in comics would sort of bleed outside of the lines, and they did that instead of focus filtering to show when things were either up close or far away. And it's a cool idea, but at times it looked a bit too distracting. Like it looked like I was watching a 3D movie without like the red and blue 3D glasses on. But I loved how they kept mixing in like traditional animation with the movement of 3D. Like the scene where it shows Spider-Gwen drumming. They added motion lines, like actually drawn on two-dimensional motion lines in between the drumsticks to kind of give it that extra like
right,
like stylistic rhythm to it. Or like the little thwips they'd actually put the word thwip there. The comic book panels, and normally when movies try to do the whole comic book coming to life thing where they just like do the split screen and show two different things, and you're like, wow, look at this. Like this movie, it's just like a comic book coming to life in every sense of it. It's like it's beautiful.
And that's a good kind of starting point in terms of comparisons, because I feel like, and I can't say one is better than the other. I do have a preference, but like both of them are really good at what they do. Homecoming is trying to bring a superhero into the real world. This is let's try to make it not hyper realistic to the point where it's boring, but let's try to ground it in reality in a, oh, that could happen if spider powers were real sort of way. And I think it really does a great job. I feel like that Peter Parker is like a real person that I went to high school with. Like I feel like they did a good job developing him and his world and everything, and that it's real. Whereas in Spider-Verse, this is a comic book in movie form. This is 100%. This is, everything is big, everything is drastic, everything is crazy, everything is over the top in the best way. And it's just like two very different takes on how to adapt something. And I like it big, I like it bold, I like it crazy. But I do also applaud Homecoming for taking, you know, something that is, Spider-Man is big and bold and has weird villains and all this other stuff, and to ground it is like that's a pretty big feat.
I think this is the best move that Sony ever could have done by making this movie, so they can still like utilize the Spider-Man franchise without interrupting the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't have to choose, because like with Venom, like they couldn't use a whole bunch of elements because of the MCU. But
and
with
it was confusing to some people, like they didn't know.
Yeah. This was like mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That they like were able to pull all this off. I think Sony needs to start making more movies like this, and to think like this is the same
Everyone does.
company
Everyone
that did the
does.
Emoji Movie. Yeah. It's just, the thing is, it takes so much like dedication and creative effort. Like, it's not a moneymaker. I mean, this was a moneymaker, but I mean, it was backed by Sony. Like, if this movie could be exactly the same, like with the amount of passion and effort and everything, but if it didn't have like the star power behind it and like the big Sony numbers, it probably would have just been completely underlooked, which is unfortunate.
I mean, Spider-Man is a very hot franchise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it also has the advantage of being a superhero movie in the age of superhero movies.
Mhm.
So I think that's kind of what helped its success. And I agree. I honestly hope that this inspires not just Sony, but like other companies too, to start doing something different, because like a lot of 3D movies, I mean, they don't look exactly the same, but you can only look at so many like 3D humans that, you know, in the style that they are currently. That like some, like The Incredibles, are a little more stylized, but a lot of them do look relatively standard. And I really appreciate the aesthetic that Spider-Verse went for, and the character designs are much different, but they are suited to the art style that they've chosen perfectly. I also hope, you know, more visual distinction. I really like how it plays with the whole fact that it is a comic book brought to life, and it pays homage to that. I'd love to see other films do something with possibly other mediums. You know, I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of cool ideas. It's just a matter of whether or not companies will actually hop on that, or if we'll get Boss Baby 2 instead, you know? I
something
guess we'll have to wait and see.
Something that I really do respect about the movie is not just that it's artistic, but it adds things all the time throughout the whole movie. It's not like, here's the style and we're sticking to this style in the movie. I mean, obviously it has a style, but like things like the Miles's thoughts popping up in the background, things like the climax happening in this just crazy like bubble zone, like with all the crazy colors, you know, things like Spider-Ham showing up and he's animated in a different way. It's not like the movie has a gimmick and then it just does that gimmick. It's like, no, it wants to throw all these things out, and it feels like an Edgar Wright film. It feels like Baby Driver or Scott Pilgrim, like in the sense that it every frame it just feels like they worked hard on. Monsters, you've been quiet.
I mean, I don't know what more I can say that already hasn't been said. It's a super visually interesting movie, and I can't really say for much movies. I go into the theater and I come out having such, you know, stimulation of the senses and feeling like I almost experienced something that I've never experienced before. And I kind of felt that with this movie.
Yes.
And,
yes.
I also love the soundtrack a lot. Both
Mhm.
the licensed music and the original score were fantastic.
Okay. So comparison time, I guess we could start with Vulture and Kingpin. I love Kingpin's design in this film, in Spider-Verse. Like they made him just, he looks like Runt from Chicken Little. But
He
no,
does.
like he's an absolute unit. He's scary. Like
He's thick.
I like how he literally fills up the whole screen.
yes, and his head just juts out from the front. Like that. Is that realistic? No, but you know what? It doesn't have to be. Not everything has to be real. Like it's called artistic license. Like use it, you know?
I definitely liked him a lot more than I normally would of this kind of character. Like the business strong
I mean,
guy.
he is just a thug. He's just a mafia
Yeah,
boss. That's
but
essentially what
he's-
the Kingpin is. Like he doesn't have powers.
I mean, he killed Spider-Man with his bare hands, which I also, I mean,
That's true.
I,
You know,
I have my own issues with that, but
yeah. Well, you gotta. What are your issues with that?
I don't think that would have killed him. Because, I mean, he has proportional strength to, like, keep up with the Lizard, Doc Ock, and everything.
That wasn't
I don't
the
think,
Lizard.
like... I know. I mean, the Kingpin, even, like, his ridiculous size and stature, in his universe, he's still just a dude. I don't know. I don't believe he would have the strength to kill Peter. with like his durability and all that.
You could argue that Peter was pretty weakened from Green Goblin there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have already been on his way out.
Yeah, he could have just like hit him hard enough to like what do they call it? Like when you knock all the wind out of somebody.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he just like one punch and now he's out of air.
Maybe
like,
Tombstone like put a bunch of bullets in him when Kingpin wasn't looking. Like, yeah, man, boss, you punched him to death. Good job.
Yeah, Kingpin's like, get rid of the body. He's like still sitting there like squirming.
Oh god. Yeah. So I think Vulture is better though as a villain, and I don't think Kingpin is bad. Like I think Kingpin is a fine villain for the film, but I think Vulture pops and is like one of the key selling points of Spider-Man: Homecoming, whereas Kingpin is like, oh, kind of surprising that they took this character for this movie and still made him like a pretty cool, pretty strong character, but he's not really interesting, I guess is the thing. Vulture is interesting. Kingpin, yeah, he wants his wife back. Yeah, he's going through a weird method to get it. And yeah, he's a strong mafia guy, but he's just an organized crime boss. He's not, a guy that's trying to get by, that's gotten screwed over, that has a family. Well, I guess he has a family, but his family is more developed in Homecoming. I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I alone in this?
No, I'm
Vulture's
actually
better.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. I think Vulture is a better villain than any of the Spider-Verse villains that are in the film. Because he's definitely a much more complex character, and we have more of an emotional attachment to him compared to Kingpin.
And his motives made sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. Another thing I appreciate about Vulture, this isn't so much about his character, but so much about the interpretation of the character, is Homecoming's interpretation of Vulture is like brand new, like completely nothing like any other Vulture, as far as I'm aware, any other Vulture. Because normally when you think of Vulture in Spider-Man, it's this old looking dude who has bird feathers, and no, he's just got a robotic. Yeah, exactly. But like, Michael Keaton has like this really powerful robotic wing system, and it's like very technology based. And I was like, that's a completely different interpretation of what the normal character is. Whereas Kingpin, I mean, like, yeah, he's got the new design, but he's still a big mob dude. I mean, I think in terms of that area, the Doc Ock character we got was more unique in that sense, but she also didn't have that deep of a character either.
So that's something else that Homecoming and Spider-Verse have in common, is that they both sneak in like 5 or 6 other Spider-Man villains in pretty minor roles. Because Homecoming has the Tinkerer, who you might not even realize that's the Tinkerer, or have any idea who the Tinkerer is, which would be pretty fair, I'd say. It's got two versions of the Shocker. Technically, it has the Prowler, although Spider-Verse definitely wins out on a more interesting Prowler. But I love me some Childish Gambino, so it's got Scorpion, who is not the Scorpion. He's just a guy with a scorpion tattoo, but he might be the Scorpion later. And then am I missing anyone for Homecoming?
I don't believe so.
I mean, they reference Ultron, if that counts.
That's true. Well, there's Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, and then Spider-Verse has Tombstone, who we have to actually look up. Doc Ock, who's relatively like more prominent, I guess, than the rest, but still not like super deep or anything. Kingpin, Prowler, and Green Goblin. Anyone else? Oh, and Scorpion. Scorpion's in there too. Scorpion, actual Scorpion.
Wait, there was Green Goblin?
Yeah, that's who.
Yeah, Green Goblin, the giant monster that Peter's fighting in the beginning.
That was Green Goblin?
Yeah, dude.
Oh. I thought that was just some random monster.
You're used to the movies.
Yeah.
Green Goblin isn't like he transforms into the Goblin. He's not just a guy in a Power Rangers mask. Sometimes.
Oh, Lizard too. In Gwen Stacy's backstory, when in her universe where Peter's the Lizard, they only show the silhouette. Yeah. In her universe, Peter somehow becomes the Lizard, and she can't cure him or save him, and he dies.
Man, I want the Spider-Gwen movie. Yeah, I mean, I think Homecoming, I think it does kind of speak to Homecoming wanted to make have all these kind of like cameos and stuff, and they appear as just kind of like generic thugs, which is like, it's better. I'd rather have them have those cameos than them just be literally generic thugs. But they aren't particularly utilized like amazingly. Into the Spider-Verse, they are just kind of like henchmen for Kingpin, but at least they have their powers, and at least they do provide some interesting fights. Like Doc Ock, I mean, she's interesting enough, I guess. She's quirky, and she definitely has like personality. But like, I love the way they animated her tendrils, that they are like, what is it? It looked like maybe like hydraulics or pressurized like air or something, instead of being like a typical like, you know, those silver claw machine looking tendrils. These were like, I don't know how you even describe those.
Like inflatable,
like
yeah,
tubes.
They're Baymax.
Yeah,
they're tubes. Tubes, I think was, but yeah, it's interesting, and I mean, of course, this movie is gonna make it look visually interesting.
I think another interesting comparison for these movies is their choices in the modernization of youth culture, like trying to integrate like modern music, modern slang. They both do it, but they both do it in different ways. Like, I feel like Homecoming does it more Hollywood, whereas like they're doing it because they're trying to connect to the audience and be like, see, we understand what's going on. Whereas like in Into the Spider-Verse, it felt so natural. Like I was impressed with like, it's like how like accurate it seemed to like the culture and the times today.
I mean,
it didn't feel too forced.
The movies are only a year apart, so I wouldn't call Homecoming dated.
No, they're not dated, but like it didn't feel like as naturally integrated. Like whenever it was trying to like be modern,
really?
It was like
I was
tell.
just saying that against Homecoming. Like you can't say it's dated because it's only a year old. Almost 2 years old.
Disagree.
I think Spider-Verse's interpretation is so much better.
I mean, Spider-Verse is cooler. Like, I don't disagree that Spider-Verse. I think Spider-Verse is better, but I don't think it's as like phony or Hollywood as you guys say in Homecoming. I don't really have much to back that up. Other
than in Homecoming, I think Ned and Peter are less kind of because they're portrayed as nerds. So what they do isn't as trendy. It's more just kind of general things that can really apply to anyone of any time. But I wouldn't call Miles trendy either. But you know, he listens to like Chance the Rapper and stuff like that, and does graffiti. So I don't know. I love like his artistic vibe.
Also, like Homecoming was supposed to have a sort of John Hughes film kind of vibe, where Spider-Verse just from the ground up wanted to do its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't trying to be anything. But I mean, I'm not saying these are faults in Homecoming. Like, I like all the efforts they're doing, but between the way they executed what they were trying to do, I think Homecoming makes it more modern and like real life referential, like a lot better and a lot more naturally.
I think another thing that comes into play is Spider-Verse feels a lot more like it's playing on the urban aspect, where, I mean, yes, it's true Homecoming is still in New York, but it's most of the time, except for the big action scenes, it's set in suburban areas, you know, like in the neighborhoods.
Well, and also,
you know?
That's a good point.
The school he goes to is like it's like a tech school. So
exactly.
It's I mean, Miles gets sent to a preppy school too, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna get more. I don't know, not as. I don't know how to.
Like the fact that they could just go to Washington and nobody's acting like it's a big deal. Like in my high school, like going 30 minutes away is like exciting. Nonetheless, like leaving the state or going to Washington. But for them, it's just like, yeah, we got this Washington spelling bee.
Right.
Well, according to the teacher, they already lost a student on one of the field trips.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew that field trip to Sokovia was not a good idea.
Oh no.
All right, let's get in. Let's do a big one. The mentor relationship. Okay,
There's technically two in Spider-Verse, Prowler and Miles, but also I'd argue that Chubby Peter and Miles is also a mentor relationship.
I mean, I guess Prowler kind of, but
you can make the argument for Prowler and Miles before he's Spider-Man. Like, he has the past relationship with him, but I don't. So it's kind of like mentor,
uncle.
but not he's a mentor for Miles, not for Spider-Man.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So
whereas Peter is the mentor for Spider-Man.
yeah. So this
more than Miles,
was like
I
a
guess.
big selling point in both movies. Like weirdly enough, like I none of the Spider-Man movies before now has had Peter had like a spider mentor, a superhero mentor. Like this was like a unique element for Homecoming, and then Spider-Verse did it too. I'm not saying it like ripped it off, but it's just kind of interesting to get them so close together. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. Peter, so Miles and Peter, Schlubby Peter, as I like to call him, Peter B. Parker, or whatever you want to call him.
Burrito Peter.
Their relationship, I would say, is a very traditionally structured mentor who doesn't want to take on student role. He's out of shape mentor who there's a young upstart that rouses him into action, and he reluctantly takes him on his award, and they learn a little bit from each other, and in the end they end up, thick as thieves. Like that's very, very traditional. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a reason why that sort of relationship pops up again and again. But for and I love that Peter Parker, and I love his relationship with Miles, but I think Homecomings is more interesting.
I agree.
Because again, that's traditional. Whereas in Homecoming, Iron Man, Tony Stark is not. He had dad issues, and he never has had any real time with kids, apparently, aside from in Iron Man 3. So like it's clear he wants to try and care, but like he has no idea how to do this. And it is revealed that he does care, and he has been listening to Happy's messages, or to Peter's messages to Happy. Like he knew Peter was not had quit band. Like he knew that little detail about Peter's life, but yet he was like he's like an absent father, where like he cares and he wants to be there, but he can't bring himself to be around, or like realize that what Peter needs is him there in person helping him.
Would you like Tony Stark as much as this if his character didn't exist outside of Homecoming? Like if you didn't have all the Iron Mans and Avengers to back the character growth.
No, because I feel like Civil War really did a good job of setting this up, and you kind of need Civil War to make well. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, also to Homecoming, the intro is Civil War. Like it is basically the relevant parts of Civil War. So it's not like if you didn't see that, you're lost.
I mean, you can make that argument for almost any MCU movie, because some of them, especially now, are so interconnected that you kind of need other ones for context.
Mm-hmm. But no, like I mean, yeah, a part of it is because it is existing Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man in this role, but it also is like, think of what just happened. Like Civil War happened. Civil War was not a happy time for Tony. You could tell why he's not partying or wherever he's at because he's back to like, old style Tony. I think he's doing it because like the dude needs a vacation. Like he was just in the middle of a bunch of terrible stuff, finding out about his parents and being betrayed and all that other stuff, But no, I found it to be a bit more complex because they both cared about each other, and Peter was rebelling not because he didn't. Peter was rebelling because he felt like Tony wasn't actually listening to him, and meanwhile Tony was listening to him but just didn't do a good job of communicating. I don't know. It's interesting, and I feel that that's more like a real life like father-son or surrogate father-son relationship that's just estranged and struggled versus your kind of typical like older mentor that's added shape or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's also Miles is obviously learning from nothing, whereas Peter already has some experience under his belt.
That's
so
true.
We're kind of already, past the beginning stages of that.
And also Tony's teaching is definitely more on the philosophical end, on the the whole if you're nothing with the suit, then you don't deserve to have it. Like that's I mean, Peter teaches Miles how to swing the webs, and like obviously that's relevant and good, but I think thematically what Tony teaches Peter is, oh god, this is confusing. I don't know. It's
no,
more
I
interesting.
think you're onto something. I think you're right though. What he does teach Peter is ultimately more deep and meaningful. I mean, obviously, there's the leap of faith aspect of Spider-Verse, which is the best scene in the entire movie.
Trailer shot.
Yeah, completely. It's my desktop wallpaper. But yeah, I definitely agree that Tony's style of teaching has a lot of more depth and interesting character behind it. Because that was one thing I actually wanted to bring up too, is I really appreciated Tony's awareness of Peter's life despite not always being there for him. Because, you know, again, that scene where he steps out and you see, like, you know, oh my gosh, he's really here this time. You know, that was, even knowing that was coming, when it happened, I still felt the power in that moment.
And neither of it's a conflict where, like, neither of them are really, they're both kind of at fault, because for, you know, Peter didn't know that Tony was listening. How would he know? Tony didn't communicate it to him. You know, but Tony expects Peter to just have trusted him without really earning that trust. Plus, you got to give it to Marvel for, Tony Stark is their flagship character, and they portray him in not necessarily the best of lights in this film. They're not afraid to make him look like kind of an absentee father.
Yeah, I mean, he's inexperienced, and they make sure to, you know, show that. Peter
Parker is an inexperienced hero. Tony Stark is an inexperienced dad.
So that transitions into something else that this is a weird parallel, but both movies make a, like, metaphor about the suit, the actual Spider-Man suit, being like a something you earn. Because something really interesting about Spider-Verse is that Miles wears a Spider-Man costume through most of the movie, almost all of it. Like, he doesn't get his own suit until, like, just before the climax. Like, and that's interesting because, like, I don't know. It's like he really needed to earn the suit. Where in Spider-Man, I mean, yeah, Tony says it, and it's like Peter fights the climax. It's like the reverse of Spider-Verse, where Peter in the climax is in his own suit, and in all the rest of the movie, he's in the Stark suit. I don't really have anything to say about one being better than the other. I just found it to be a really interesting choice that both of them use this.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't even really draw that connection until you just brought it up. But you're like, yeah, you're right. You're completely right. It's like a flip.
Aunt May.
I like Aunt May's portrayal in both films. But, God, Spider-Verse's Aunt May is such a bad person.
Bad person? A bad butt, you mean?
Bad isn't good.
She's fat.
She kicks butt. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
Yeah.
She's metal.
I mean,
I like Aunt May more in Homecoming. I don't need to explain my reasons.
Oh God. Well, look. I mean, I like the relationship May has with Peter in Homecoming. And the jokes about her being hot in Civil War, great. But they love that joke about how everyone hits on her. That's just, that's comedy gold. That's gonna be in the sequel too.
I think they did that on purpose because they realized, like, people would probably comment on it, so they probably tried to kill the joke themselves.
Right, but it's like, okay, so Tony himself is, like, hitting on her in Civil War, and then in the beginning of Homecoming, he's hitting on her in the video, and then
Happy might have a relationship with her.
Well, in the sequel, yeah, but then
they tease it.
Then there's also, like, wasn't there like a waiter at the larb place or something that gives her extra larb because, like, it's just, I don't know. It's they use the joke too many times, I think, but yeah.
One thing I do have on my notes is I think that the quote unquote villain identity reveal in Homecoming is better because, like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with Prowler being Miles' uncle, but I actually predicted that before it happened.
Well,
it's made it lose some impact for me compared to Homecoming, where, like we said earlier, I literally did not see that coming at all.
Right, and even if you know anything about, not if you know anything about comics, but if you know anything about Ultimate Spider-Man, I mean, they say his name, like, you know, it's not a twist if you know the comics in any way.
Yeah, I didn't, and that's the thing, right. I didn't know, and I still figured it out, which is like, you know, I mean, it didn't like ruin anything. It was just, you know, I saw it coming ahead of time, so I wasn't surprised the way I was with Homecoming. So I think that's why Homecoming did a better job, because it did manage to surprise me and not really cue me in on anything.
You know what Homecoming doesn't have? 2 on-screen deaths.
That's true.
Peter Parker brutally murdered. Oh man. No, yeah, I mean, the reveal might not have been that amazing, but him dying, like, that got me. That was a pretty big moment, I think.
And him at the cemetery too.
He got super smashed, bro.
Oh man.
Speaking of cemeteries, man, so Spider-Verse, oh god, it's just like it's just like a sequence of amazing set pieces, just one after the other, and like one of the best, if not the best and funniest in the movie is Miles at the gravesite and running into Peter B. Parker for the first time. Like, I don't know how did someone had to get inspired to think, okay, well, we're gonna have this Peter kind of like looking a little rough around the edges, and then Miles is gonna like shock him, and he's gonna look like a homeless person, and he's gonna shoot his webbing is gonna get stuck to Miles, and then Miles is gonna use the webbing to like escape. And it's just this crazy scene, and there's so many great jokes, like the radio that's like, it appears that someone is dragging behind a homeless person. Like, I didn't sell the joke right, but I mean, there's that joke. There's like, just the way Peter's face smashes into the pavement. Like, I love it. What were you guys' favorite like action scenes?
Okay, I'd say my favorite action scene in Spider-Verse was definitely the climactic battle where, the other universes were coming through the device, and like the buildings were coming out, and there were like, buses flying, and they were just swinging around and dodging all this stuff, while all these bright, vibrant colors were going off. I thought that was easily my favorite action scene in the entire movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the one thing I had to say about, like, the one criticism I had was I wished at the climax that someone would fall into the chamber and cause other versions of a villain to pop up into this universe.
Yeah, that would have been really sick to see.
Mm-hmm. Like, I would have loved the noir version of Doc Ock.
With, like, low technology.
Mm-hmm. Who do you guys like better, Miles or Homecoming Peter?
Miles.
Oh, I have to say Homecoming Peter. I think that a lot of Miles' strengths just comes from the world he's in the movie he's in. Like, I like everything about him, but I don't love it. Like, and I don't know why, I just...
because Peter is... Homecoming Peter doesn't have to share the stage with so many other characters, is one of the things. Like, Miles is a good character, I think, but he also is surrounded by a lot of other really colorful, interesting characters that kind of take away from him a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say between the two, I like Homecoming Peter because he has the advantage of, again, already being a little more experienced, whereas Miles is, the newbie character that's learning his way up. And in that regard, I think it gives Homecoming Peter an advantage. However, I like Miles' suit design more because black and red is cooler than red and black.
It's funny you bring that up, though, because even though Homecoming Peter is a bit more experienced, he still acts ridiculously naive.
He's not that experienced, though. He's experienced with, like, taking out, thieves.
I'm
talking
about...
his only combat experience was Civil War. It wasn't even that much.
He was only, he never fought a supervillain, and he was only active for a few months.
I'm talking in terms of his, like, abilities, his powers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, he doesn't know how to fully use his suit, but... he doesn't have to learn how to web swing, and he doesn't have to learn how to climb and stuff. Which, I mean, again, it's nothing against the movie, because, it's establishing Miles, but as someone who's seen a lot of Spider-Man media...
Charming, though, with, like, with him locking himself into the security guard's office and sticking to the door and everything, and...
On that note, Spider-Verse is so much funnier than Homecoming. Homecoming has some good jokes, but, like, Spider-Verse is hilarious.
Yeah. A lot of visual humor.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, in terms of, like, the rest of the cast that isn't Spider-Man as well, I think Spider-Verse takes this by, like, a long shot. Ned is cool. That's fine. I don't like Zendaya as MJ because
they're trying to flesh her out.
She's not MJ in any way. It's, like, she can be a great original character. I'm welcoming if they do something with her, but like she's not MJ. Like, why would you force that? All right, who is your favorite Spider person, Shadow?
My favorite of the 6, I'd probably still say Miles is my favorite of them.
Oh, girl.
Spider-Man Noir.
Okay, Monsters.
Spider Noir, baby.
I feel like some people would probably want me to say Spider Ham, but no, I like Peter B. Parker. I like the take of an older Spider-Man, and because you don't, for a while, and I mean even now, they're afraid of aging Peter up. They're afraid of making him too, quote unquote, old and tied down, or whatever stupid excuse they want to give for why he can't be like 30. Like he always has to be under that or whatever. But I like seeing him in a state that we don't generally see him in. I mean, he's usually kind of down on his luck, but he's usually not like, his wife left him and is just like really pathetic. So I felt like that was a cool interpretation. I also really like the fact that lately they've been using Miles as an excuse to make him like the teenage Spider-Man and Peter being like the older Spider-Man. They did this in they're kind of starting to do this in the PS4 games. So I think that's a cool way of having them both exist in the same universe. But yeah, no, I mean, I like Spider-Gwen's costume. Spider-Gwen is cool as well. Like, honestly, there isn't any of them that I didn't like. I think they made the right choice in making Noir, Ham, and Spider Anime Girl be kind of like more backgroundy than anything else, because they are great additions to the film, but they would be really distracting if they were in the whole film, I think.
Yeah, I think they're great support characters, but that's all they really needed to be. I think the fact that it focused mostly on Miles, Peter B. Parker, and Gwen was a good decision. You don't want it to get too crowded.
All right, so closing thoughts, Monsters, and pick.
I pick Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because it's, like I mentioned before, it's like it was a new experience for me. I walked out of that theater just like in shock. I was like, what did I just experience? I love Spider-Man Homecoming. I think it's a great movie, but I can't help but admire Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse to, my fullest ability. It's such a groundbreaking thing. I love the animation. I love the humor. I love the music. The voice acting is spectacular. So yeah, that's my pick.
Okay. Kuro?
I would also say Spider-Verse. I think it has a lot more advantages to rewatchability. I think it was a lot more creatively executed. And it has the benefit of being its own thing, disconnected from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because as good as Homecoming is, you can't really talk about it without it being like all the intricacies it has interwoven with the other films. And I'm afraid they might start doing that with Spider-Verse, because I know they're getting a Spider-Gwen spinoff, and there's also going to be they're doing a second one on its own aside from the spinoff, I believe. And I hope they don't make the mistake of just pumping this into a franchise, because this film is a work of art. But yeah, ultimately I choose Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel as well. I pick Spider-Verse, and I feel like Homecoming is a very good movie. Spider-Verse is art. Spider-Verse is true art. I genuinely feel that, from just like even taking away like the story and like everything else, just the way they make these shots and the way the angles and the lighting and the effects and just everything is just so visually stunning. And then the story is really good too, and the characters and everything. It's just so solid. Shadow?
Yeah, I also choose Spider-Verse. I think in terms of characters, I prefer Homecoming, but other than that, in terms of Peter and Tony specifically, I prefer their characters to any of the Spider-Verse characters. However, in any other department, design, plot, acting, all of that, I much prefer Spider-Verse. I think it is at this point in time, it is one of a kind. There is nothing else out there really like it. And just for that alone, I appreciate it a heck of a lot more than I do with Homecoming. I mean, Homecoming's still good, but I definitely give it to Spider-Verse as well.
And lastly, the stingers. Which stinger did you guys like better? So the stinger in Homecoming is a joke about Captain America talking about patience and how sometimes you wait a long time and nothing really interesting happens. And then the one in Spider-Verse has Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, transporting back into the 60s Spider-Man cartoon with the meme about pointing.
That one.
Yeah, I'm in favor of the pointing meme just because like they didn't do like, you know, how a lot of, you know, mainstream things try to do a meme. No, they did it really well because they made a joke of it. They didn't make it a big deal, and it didn't, you know, it was just a fun little gag. It wasn't like a huge distraction or anything. I appreciate it a lot more.
Kuro?
Yeah, I would go with the pointing meme.
Really? Okay, because you made a good argument that actually sold me on it when we watched this movie. Like, here's the thing. Actually, never mind. I don't know. I'll pick the pointing one too. I really like Captain America's though, because it doesn't rely on like anything else other than just like an original joke about just like, you know, everyone knows that you gotta stay at the end of the superhero movies, and it's just that was a good joke in Homecoming as well, and a great cameo. And I love the fact that Chris Evans is very willing to do things like this. So yeah. All right. So quickly, we have trivia. So I considered giving you guys the same questions as I gave you for episode 10 of the recast, but I feel like if I did that, you guys wouldn't come back for episode 40. So instead, we're going to mix it up a little bit, and instead of answering those questions from episode 10, you guys have to tell me if the other person got the question right back in episode 10. How good's your memory?
It's not
That's
fair.
a twist.
Why is it not fair, Monsters?
Oh, jeez.
No, I was just joking. Let's go.
Okay, you edit the podcast. All right. So the way this is gonna work, you're gonna go to your right in terms of Discord, but so Shadow is going to be telling me what Kuro guessed in any given prompt. Kuro, you're gonna tell me what Monsters gave, and Monsters, you're gonna tell me what Shadow gave. All right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the first prompt is when the professor is kidnapped, the girls must go to a mysterious island to save him. And this was from the Powerpuff Girls reboot, and the episode was Salamander. Shadow, did Kuro get this one right?
For a refresher, were we just supposed to guess reboot or original, or did we also have to give the title?
I think you had to do both.
Do you remember?
I don't think we had to guess the title.
Yeah, no, the title would
Okay.
be too specific. No, it was just reboot or original.
Because I know, like, the last one or two that I was on, I did give the title, but...
Yeah, don't say whether you
Okay.
got it right or not, because you'll ruin the game.
No.
Anyway,
this wasn't
Kuro.
episode 10. This was episode 20 and 24.
Okay, what
Yes.
did
Anyways,
Kuro do?
I gonna guess that he got it right.
Kuro, what did Monsters get? I know this is really asinine. I love it though.
I would say you got it right.
All right, and Monsters, how about Shadow?
I wonder if the guy that reviews Powerpuff Girls 2016 got that question right. I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, you guys all got this one right because y'all got that one right. Prompt number 2. Ben finds people making shows about his alien forms. This was from the original, and it's called Super Alien Hero Buddy Adventures. Shadow, did Kuro get it right?
Yes.
All right, Kuro, did Monsters get it right?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And Monsters, did Shadow get it right?
I'm gonna say no.
Oh, ye of little faith. The only one who got this right this time around was Shadow, because you all got it right the first time.
Oh.
Have faith in your
Oh.
friends, guys. So Shadow is leading with 2 points, and everyone else has 1. Third prompt. The girls enter the mayor's dream world to find the source of his nightmares, and that is from the original called Nightmare. Shadow, did Kuro get it right?
I'm gonna guess he got it wrong.
Okay. And Monsters? And Kuro, did Monsters get it right or wrong?
I think he got this right.
Okay. And Monsters.
Shadow got this right.
All right. So you're all correct.
Oh,
because
sweet.
Originally Kuro got it wrong, but the other 2 of you got it right. So it is now Monsters and Kuro are at 2 and Shadow's at 3, I think.
Yes.
Number 4. When a mysterious rain cloud plagues the
Oh
house,
my god.
Bubbles learns things aren't what they seem. And that's from the reboot episode Largo. Shadow, did Kuro get it right?
No.
Oof.
I don't think he did.
Okay. And actually, you know what? I could just tell you after each one of you. Yeah, I'll do this. So
That might be easier.
yeah, so you're wrong. He did get it right.
Okay, he did.
Ha.
Okay. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Kuro, did Monsters get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And Monsters, did Mr. Largo boy over there get it right?
I sure wonder. Yes, he did.
All right. So you all get a point for that one. So it is except for Shadow.
Except me,
Yeah.
I was gonna
So
say.
it's
Yeah.
it's 3-all actually. Wow, this is
Oh,
close.
sweet.
Okay.
We caught
All
up.
right, moving into question number 5. God, we asked a lot of questions back then. When the mayor's mansion is stalked by a vicious monster, the girls must step in to help. This is reboot Midnight at the Mayor's Mansion. Shadow, did Kuro get it right?
I'm gonna flip a coin.
All right, Harvey Dent.
Heads is right. His tails. Okay, you got it wrong.
Okay, you're correct on that. So you're up to 4 points.
Oh, okay. Harvey Dent. Yes.
Kuro?
Yeah. Yeah, he got
Nope,
it right.
Monsters got it wrong. You're
I
I was
you're
thinking he
still at
got it
3.
wrong, but I wanted to have faith in you.
And Monsters, did Shadow get that right or wrong?
Correct. He got it right.
Yep, you are right. So Monsters is at 4, Kuro's still at 3, and Shadow is at 4. This is a close game, guys. So, prompt number 6. Oh, you're gonna love this one, Shadow. 3 cooks steal the
Oh.
rust bucket from the
Oh my
original Ben
God.
10.
Kuro,
Ben
I
for
predict Kuro
good
got
buddy.
it right. I predict he got it right.
Jeez. All right, you are correct on that.
Okay.
Now, Kuro, did Monsters get this right or wrong?
I'm going to say he got it wrong.
You are correct. And Monsters, do you remember what Shadow said for this one?
I do. He said both.
Look, man. How am I supposed to know?
So
It's so generic.
Monsters and Shadow are at 5 and Kuro is at 4. It's a close game. Anyone's got this. All right, number 7 of 8. The girls learn to appreciate each other's style after having to fight each other solo, and it's from the reboot episode Splitsville. Shadow, did Kuro get this right?
I predict yes, he did.
Nope, you're wrong. Still at 5.
Darn.
Kuro, did Monsters get this right?
Yes, he did.
Monsters did not get this right. You're still at 4.
Oh.
And Monsters,
Monsters,
did
come
Shadow
on.
get this right?
I think he had recently reviewed it by the time this episode came out, so I'm going to say yes.
You are correct, and you're up to 6, pulling into the lead, my friend. On the last question, here we go. Oh. Ben and Billy Billions clash in a duel for supremacy at the laser tag part. But when Billy inadvertently ignites a robot rebellion, their game escalates into a full-blown war. It's from the reboot, and it has the best title ever called Don't Laze Me, Bro. Oh, gosh. All right. Shadow, what did Kuro...
I predict that Kuro got it right.
Okay, you're correct, so you're going to end with 6. Kuro, how did Monsters do?
I'm going to say he got it right.
You're wrong. You're at
Oh my
4.
God.
Monsters
Oh,
didn't...
man, I had
Monsters...
way too much faith
Okay,
in you.
and Monsters, what about Shadow?
I'm going to say Shadow got this right.
Shadow did get this right, so you're at 7 and you win. So here's how it breaks
What?
down. Yeah. Yeah, you
I
got
won?
7 of 8, my friend.
Congrats.
Here's the thing. Shadow got all of them right except for the one where he answered both. If you remembered that, then you'd get this right. I don't know that you remembered that, though. Did you remember that?
I didn't remember that, no.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Monsters only got 4 out of 8 on the first when we actually did this, and Kuro got 5. All right, well there you go. There's my incredibly obtuse, not quite trivia game. I hope you guys, I hope the audience enjoyed it. I don't think you guys did.
I was so confused until you actually just gave us the answer right after.
Yeah. So I want to first of all thank the audience for allowing us to get to episode. Well, you don't really allow it. We'd be at episode 30 even if we had like 2 viewers probably. But
Yeah.
thank you guys for the support. The support definitely helps. It definitely motivates us to make the show be the best that it can possibly be. You know, and we do appreciate viewer submissions even if we don't always remember to read them.
Like today.
Maybe. It's a long episode. All right. Secondly, I would very much like to thank Kuro and Shadow. You guys are a big part of the recast.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
I also want to thank O.R.Ash for drawing for today's
Yeah.
episode, and who knows, maybe next week there'll be a different drawing. I would also like to thank Monsters for being a co-host and someone who apparently spends like 7 hours editing this. Dude, you didn't even tell me that. I found out through a tweet. Like, you spend a lot of time on this podcast, and it couldn't happen without you, man. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, and I also appreciate Pieguy for kind of being the glue that sticks this podcast together, and the king of pie.
Aw. All right, guys. Well, so remember the community cast is coming up in a few weeks. We will be reminding you every week what day it is. It's the 20th, correct, of March?
Yes.
It is the 20th of March. We'll tell you again next week. So we got that to look forward to. We got Pokemon next week, and yeah. Well, we got maybe some Ben 10, maybe some Powerpuff Girls in the next few episodes. Maybe even a Powerpuff anime.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. PIEGUYRULZ, out.
See ya.
Keep it fizzy.
Catch you guys next time.